Hey, man, what it is, what it ain't, it's the voice of the O. You already know. We back for episode 36 of the From the Jump podcast. I'm DJ with a few of my co-hosts, the bro host, one short. My boy Tony not feeling too well today, so he decided to sit this one out. But I have a very special guest. But before we get to him, I'm going to introduce everybody. Man to my left.
Alex here in the building.
Yes, sir.
We're sitting here.
My boy Alex, for the first time on camera. You know, usually he's in the back talking shit. Now,
Hey.
Y'all don't know, I'm like Tony, just like 200 pounds less. So it's a little bit lighter.
And to my far right, you got Billy Earl.
Yeah, Will, what's up, guys? What's up?
Doing all right?
Doing
all right?
well.
Good. And my very special guest of the day, I had to fight tooth and nail to get him here. But after 35 episodes, I finally achieved the greatest feat known to man. My dad, Mr. Jordan, not to be confused with Mike, Mr. Toby Jordan.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, appreciate you for coming up here, Dad.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Man, this is, I'm sure if y'all seen a few of the episodes, this is a guy that literally taught me every sport that I've ever played. Football. In my opinion, he crafted two of the greatest hands to never catch a college football.
Right on.
So, yeah, taught me basketball, soccer, track, anything that I wanted to play.
Soccer too?
Yeah.
You can play soccer?
If you love doing it, get out there and do it.
Yeah.
It's real.
Even if you didn't really know anything about it, I felt like if you applied yourself,
Yeah.
I mean, it would come to you. I mean, it was in his blood. He was an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, we Mexicans, so we do that a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, he taught you how to play Madden too. I wish he would have just kept that out.
Nah, man, for real. You just imagine playing goalie and he's the one kicking the ball.
That's, oh my God, that too, yeah.
We weren't taking nothing off of it.
Couldn't imagine that. He's
right?
not taking nothing off that.
Wasn't taking nothing off.
That's what my dad was too. A nigga throwing that football. You better catch that motherfucker. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, 5 feet away. Throwing
Yeah.
the bullet. I'm like, Dad, can
Be like, hey, look the ball in, man.
Yep.
Don't be closing your eyes. Like, that's how it's going to be coming when they throw it to you because they want it there. They want to get it
That's
there.
right, yeah.
what the hell?
That's some black culture shit right there.
right.
Like, catch that ball, we're going in the house.
Uh-huh.
Like, what you mean?
You want to play sleepy you catch? Right.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Like, damn.
I was hard on all of my kids, though, in sports. Like with Dante.
You want to give him the Dante story, the tree? Dante with the tree?
No,
Dante with the tree, that don't
wouldn't
even
do
sound good.
So I'll tell him real quick.
You ain't even got to tell that.
Dante,
That don't even sound good. He said Dante in the
hey,
tree.
No bullshit, man. This is black family shit. So Dante
It
was
make it sound worse than what it is.
Yeah.
Right. It's gonna sound worse than what it was.
So Dante was, when he first started playing football, you know, you're always nervous about the contact. You know,
Right. Yeah.
how
Oh, yeah.
hard you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So Dante wasn't tackling to what my dad knew was his full capability of tackling. Dante's a good size ass kid. He's
Yeah,
always
he
been
a big nigga. Yeah.
He's always been a big nigga, and he, you know. So my dad, you know, finally had enough. He said, "Put your pads on."
Now I'll chime in.
Okay.
All I wanted him to realize was that he was protected.
Right.
He had a helmet on. I smacked him on his helmet to let him know, hey, I'm hitting you in the helmet. Does it hurt? And because he was wincing and like it's gonna hurt. And I was like, does it hurt? He was like, no. And I put the pads, shoulder pads on him. I was like, you're protected. I'm not gonna hurt you. You can't hurt. You can hurt them. I was like, but you're protected. I'm beating them on the shoulders. And then I was like, now go out here and go get at it.
Yeah.
And then he was still like nervous. So
Yep.
I mean, I'll let you go ahead and finish.
He grabbed this nigga by the shoulder pads and probably the
Back of his little
pants,
pants.
and used that nigga like he was
Like a
police.
battering ram.
Yeah, like with the police trying to break in the door. He ran that nigga into that tree. Dante goofy ass tried to block with his finger, fucked his finger up.
So that's what's wrong with Dante. I always knew something was off.
Hey,
And
That took a left
seemed
turn
like it
real
makes
quick.
sense.
I thought he was about to say, hey, go tackle the tree until you
Yeah,
get
that's
about
why
the
I thought
roots.
you was headed, bro. For real. I'm thinking you said, nigga, go hit the tree or something. That's
he
what
hit
I'm
the
thinking.
tree.
Yeah.
He used-
Well, he hit the tree.
Yeah, but not, yeah.
But in the end, when I said, I said, is your head hurting? He said, no. I said, oh, your shoulders hurting? No, my finger hurting. I was like, well, you shouldn't have put your finger in front of the tree.
How old was he at this time? Y'all think?
6, 7.
Yeah.
6?
Wow. Okay. All right.
Oh, broke him in. He realized, hey, only thing gonna get hurt if I put my finger in front of her when I'm trying to make a tackle. I was like, don't do that. I was like, keep your hands, wrap them around. I was like, don't put your fingers right here when you're trying to tackle.
That's real.
Yeah.
But after that,
we
Dante-
realized it.
Yeah.
After that, Dante was fucking niggas up. We was busting them kids up.
Yeah, he was angry already.
After that one, he had to be.
He was angry as a child anyway.
So,
That's
man,
funny as hell.
As always, like I said, I appreciate my dad coming up here. Appreciate you guys, Alex stepping up.
Of course.
being on camera. Billy Earl being here as always.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Love you guys. I appreciate you, man. So let's get into it, man. We missed a lot of football. You know, people catching COVID, different things of that. So we're finally here. We're going to try to catch up on the two main games that mattered in the wild card. And then we're going to go up to the divisional rounds and then talk a little about what happened last night, or for y'all, which will probably be on Sunday because it'll probably come out Tuesday. So the first game, in my opinion, that I want to talk about is the Bengals, Cincinnati Bengals. A good story that's been going on. Joe Burrow getting his first actual full season, and also getting his former running mate, Jamar Chase, both from LSU. Have a nice set of receivers. Have a nice running back tandem with Samaje Perine and Joe Mixon. The receivers, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and then I like the little tight end, Uzama. Nice. And Joe Burrow's just been putting up numbers, man. I think he finished top 5 in passing. So, let's get to it. The Bengals beat the Raiders 26-19. Derek Carr in that game attempted 54 passes and completed 29. Averaged 5.5 yards of completion, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Joshua Jacobs, a former Alabama running back, shout out, had 13 carries.
And he's from Tulsa too. Just want to throw that in there. Yeah, he's from Tulsa.
He is.
Too,
He is from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So we give him that. He came to the right school.
He do like he went to Alabama though. He
Right.
built like
he's
something
stout.
crazy. Yeah.
Stout.
Rushed for 83 yards and averaged 6.4 yards a carry. No touchdowns. On the other side, Joe Burrow. Ooh, this thing will go. Joe Burrow attempted 34 passes, completed 24, and averaged 7.2 yards of completion with 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Joe Mixon chimed in with 17 carries for 48 yards and averaged 2.8 yards a carry. Jamar Chase had 9 receptions with 116 yards, an average of 12.9 yards receiving, no touchdowns. C.J. Uzama also attributed 6 receptions for 64 yards, an average of 10.7 yards of completion, and a touchdown. Also, Boyd added a touchdown as well with 4 receptions and 26 yards. So, based off that, obviously, we all know that the Raiders have been dealing with a lot of things with the Henry Ruggs situation.
Right.
Damn, I forgot about that.
Yeah, with John Gruden getting fired and them having an interim head coach midseason, still making the playoffs, but obviously it's still not enough with that up-and-coming Bengals team. So let me get your thoughts on that. Billy Earl, let me get you first.
I'm a Broncos fan, so of course I was rooting against the Raiders, but I'm not sure where Las Vegas is, where their mindset is at. Derek Carr shouldn't be throwing the ball over 45 times in the game ever. You already down 2 wide receivers because like D-Jack is not D-Jack anymore. Obviously he's not there,
Right.
And so now you got Darren Waller, who I thought is a great tight end. I think he's a very, very solid tight end.
Absolutely.
Do they forget who they have in the backfield? I've never understood that. For the last 2 or 3 years, I'm just like, that is one of the best backs in the league that is slept on because of the team that he plays on.
Absolutely.
If you send him to Denver, we love to take him. You saw Javonte Williams this year. Like if you put him anywhere else, I promise you, like he is exactly what he should. Like he was at Bama, but he's not. And I don't know why that is. And John Gruden came in, he was like, "Yeah, we'll give him the ball." And then against Dallas, what happened? He exploded.
Right.
I'd be surprised what happens when you give the running back the football. As an OU fan, run the ball. Always run the ball. That's it. Run the ball.
Right.
Listen, Cincinnati is on something. I don't know what is up in the water up in Cincinnati, but they're on it and they're taking it. Who, first off, anybody on that 2019 LSU team, it's getting outrageous.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's what everybody said. You remember they lost against LSU? I don't, because that's the NFL team. We had no business playing them in the Peach Bowl. That was outrageous. Are you serious? Justin Jefferson comes in, sets an NFL rookie record.
Yep.
Jamar Chase finna win Rookie of the Year and sets another NFL
breaks
rookie
his record.
Right.
Are you what?
Breaks his former teammates record.
Joe Burrow ain't missed a step. He tore ACL. He ain't missed a step.
Nah, he's gonna come back just
I'm like-
even more determined to set his steps, feet in stone.
It don't make no sense.
Yeah.
I'm like this. And again, I was the first one hooting and hollering. Listen, if that's going to be your franchise dude, you have to protect him.
Absolutely.
He's coming off an ACL tear. I'm like, there's no way they don't take Penei Sewell. They didn't. They took Jamar Chase and said, hey, take us to the promised land. And it's worked. That was a hell of a gamble. Truly, it's like you're playing blackjack and the dealer has a 3 showing and you have 2 face cards and you say split them. First of all, don't ever do that because you already got 20. But that's exactly what Cincinnati did. They said split them. And then bam, blackjack on both of them. And I'm just like, okay.
So-
and then, of course, the backfield, as you know, wonder where they went to school at.
Yes, sir. Boomer.
Cincinnati's unbelievable. I mean, the defense definitely could take a little bit of hit there, but
So can I ask you a question really quick?
What's
Since
up?
We're on the topic. Do you believe Joe Burrow had a hand in them picking Jamar Chase instead of offensive lineman?
with guys like that, you kind of think that they have to. Because I think while they do need a number 1 wide receiver, because I think T. Higgins is good, and I think Tyler Boyd are both great receivers, to have that one dude that sets you over the top like that, I think he had to have a little. And even if he didn't, it does play a part that he did play with him in LSU. Like that's got to be like, hey, Clearly, they did something right.
Right.
They just bum rushed all of college football with ease.
Right.
Absolutely.
Bro, I'm still tripping on how they did Clemson in the national championship. They don't make no sense. Anyways,
Boy.
that being said, he got hit. Well, not this game. Let's see. I want to say he was hit 9 times yesterday or Sunday. He was hit 9 times Sunday, but then he still got pressured and hurried against this game.
Right. 9 times. Didn't crack, didn't fold, got up with poise, and just kept performing on short-term memory.
I'm telling
He was like, and when they interviewed him, he said, hey, that happens in football.
Yep.
Quarterbacks get sacked.
Yep.
When they used to play is how you get up and reset for the next play.
Yep.
That showed a lot, I mean, about his character.
Unlike Tom Brady had crying and shit.
We will get to Tom.
You know I'm a Tom Brady
Y'all
hater.
get off Tom Brady.
You know I'm a
today.
Tom Brady hater, but
Damn it today.
why he keep yelling at the refs and shit? Talking about his mouth bleeding guy. I'm like, bro, get your ass up,
It's
man.
because he was playing bad
Hey.
and he wanted to cry.
Tom said, I'm 45. I've been doing this a long time. Y'all know that you're supposed to protect my family.
Yes.
That's his money.
funny, yeah.
Football is his money. But them all his little commercials and all that.
Yep.
Hey, you Tom Bailey, don't hit me in the face, man.
Said I'm getting younger and
Yeah.
I'm messing it up.
Oh, yeah.
Alex,
Trying
you
to
got
keep it from
anything?
cracking.
Man, I ain't got nothing.
Nothing?
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like Joe Mixon been playing exceptionally well. I feel like he's been playing really well. You know me, I'm new to football. but
Right, he's getting
I
there.
feel like there was a period that there really wasn't discussion a lot
There
about it.
absolutely
But I feel like
was.
right now he's hitting
Yeah.
a lot, and I'm watching him play. I'm like, damn, he doing really good.
And it's even more, not to cut you off, it's even more surprising with their O-line.
Yeah.
They may have the worst O-line in the playoffs right now.
Word?
It's
Is
bad.
that bad? Oh,
But
shit.
behind Pittsburgh, it's bad.
Yeah.
Like, and so you have your franchise quarterback coming off an ACL repair, and you're like, hey, run around and then take 9 sacks and then take all these hurries and take all these hits. I don't want my franchise guy doing that, but like you said,
Nah,
Burrow's
not
got
at
the right.
all.
If there was one person that you have that has the right attitude,
Right.
Burrow's like, who else is next?
Yeah.
Who we got next?
Yeah.
Where's his flight land? Kansas City. Let's go.
Yeah.
So they're like a
Exactly.
gritty underdog team.
Oh,
Is that my
Joe Burrow's just that dude. Like,
It's
He's coming
unbelievable.
along, man. Joe Burrows is, like I said, since that ACL tear, him coming back, it's just like he said. Doesn't seem like he skipped a beat. And as far as being poised, it's like he's been in the league for 10 years.
Yep.
yeah.
I mean, he's just calm, cool,
I mean,
and collected.
he is old as fuck. No,
No.
he like 24. He like a
Yeah.
year younger than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
but
it's
Patrick
like,
Mahomes is
like he been there forever.
Right.
Though. So, I mean, how he 9 sacks, and you as a quarterback, you're gonna be like, at some point, you're gonna be like, well, damn. I mean, yeah, can y'all do something for me?
absolutely.
I mean, that's a record.
Yeah.
They set a record for the most sacks in a single game.
Damn.
And Zach Taylor basically just gave him the keys of the car and said, go get it.
Right.
Like, that's it.
So let's move on. My dad, as being the San Francisco 49er fan in the house, they went ahead and dusted Dallas. You know, I won't say dust, but yeah, dusted. But they didn't. They Dak.
Underdogs.
Come on, Dak. So
That shit was crazy.
San Francisco 49ers beat the Dallas Cowboys 23-17. Jimmy Garoppolo had 25 attempts, 16 completions with 172 yards passing, an average of 6.9 yards of completion and an interception. No sacks.
Now, don't get me wrong. He's supposed to suck, right?
He does suck.
Right?
He does suck. And I'm a fan, 49er fan since I was born, since I've been old enough to know about football. I'm talking about going to Montana. Jimmy Garoppolo makes me sick. Sometimes I don't even want to watch the game because I was like, I know he's finna give it away for us. That's how I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been waiting for him. I've been waiting for them to be like, all right, we'll put the youngster in.
Right.
And they've been scraping by somehow.
Man.
Badly. And that's what I'm saying.
The defense been carrying him.
He Ryan Tannehill better cousin.
Yeah, the law office of Armstrong and Bosa is not what you would. That's not what you want,
Man.
That's not what you want. And Dallas wasn't prepared for. I don't mean to cut
No,
you
go
off,
ahead,
but
go ahead.
they were not prepared for that at all.
Elijah Mitchell had 27 carries for a total of 96 yards, an average of 3.6 yards a carry with 1 touchdown. Debo Samuels also added 10 carries for 72 yards, an average of
dog, big
7.2
dog.
yards carry and a touchdown. Receivers, Ayuk led all receivers with 5 receptions, 66 yards, an average of 13.2 yards a reception. Debo Samuels had 3 receptions for a total of 38 yards, an average of 12.7 reception. So let's go over to Dak. Dak and the Cowboys. Dak attempted 43 passes, completed 23 for 254 yards, an average of 4.9 yards, a completion, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Ezekiel Elliott. Well,
You see what I'm saying? As you just keep going, you can't help but laugh and you just for what?
I don't even know the stats.
If you read this, you was like, "This is the first quarter. This is the first half." I'm like, "Yeah, that makes sense." This was 4 quarters of
whole
football.
game.
So how many-
Playoff football.
How many yards he was at that?
Ezekiel Elliott had 12 carries for a total of 31 yards, an average of 2.6 yards a carry. Would you mind bringing up that contract? I'm not
That
sure what it
contract.
is.
He said, would you mind bringing up that?
Do you see? Hey, I'm already ahead of you.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, wow.
Dak Prescott had 4 carries for 27 yards, an average of 6.8 yards a carry, and 1 touchdown. Tony Pollard had 4 rushes for 14 yards, an average of 3.5 yards a carry. So, yeah.
Do they need to get rid of both of them?
No,
Or is it just Zeke?
Pollard runs hard.
Pollard, no.
Okay. Pollard's their backup then if they get rid of Zeke.
I would give Pollard Zeke carries.
Long time ago. I'd have done it 2 years ago.
And just leave Zeke as the backup or get rid of Zeke?
Get rid
I'm
of
cutting
him.
They
Zeke.
pay him too much.
Trade him.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
get rid of him.
Send him to
get
the
some
Jets.
money. Save
Bye.
some money. Yeah, spend it wisely. But that wasn't a wise purchase. Zeke is just riding the train.
How long was his run? I feel like it wasn't that long.
What, 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't that long that
For Dallas?
he was on.
Yeah.
About 2.
Yeah, I
3,
mean,
right?
yeah, like I feel like he was on top of the game. Like everybody was like
And,
Zeke,
see,
Zeke,
and that's
Zeke.
why Dallas went 13-3 their rookie year because they ran the ball.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, hey, watch out. Of course, they didn't have a defense.
Yeah.
And I forgot the stat. Whenever Dallas runs the ball more than they pass,
7-0.
7-0.
For if they rush for over 100 yards, they are 7-0.
Yeah, and Dak threw the ball 43 times.
What?
43 times.
And this is their coach right now. Is first year, or second
Mike
year?
McCarthy.
This is first year.
First year there.
Okay, I was
He's
like,
been
I know I'm
around.
tripping. Okay, my
Yeah.
fault.
Also, I got to chime in. Amari Cooper had a touchdown, 6 receptions, 64 yards, an average of 10.7 yards a carry,
Unbelievable.
completion, just because that's world high.
When people ask me why am I not a Dallas Cowboys fan, because I'm an OU fan.
Can't have both, huh?
Y'all not about to take away my weekend like this. Stressed out, high blood pressure. I got kids. I got to focus on. That's not. I can't do this. Can you imagine? Just imagine that OU played Baylor, that monstrosity, where Lincoln's just like, y'all got it and figure it out.
Right.
And then I have to turn around and then I got to watch Dallas do this. I can't. No.
He said I can't have
There's a reason I wear hats all the time.
They can't be stressful.
I got no hair left. That's why I wear these all the time.
Me too.
I'm finna lose all of this if I keep watching Dallas like this. See, that's nope. That's
And I
why.
ain't trying to shit on you, but I feel like we have made the connection that OU and Dallas be having the same issues.
A little bit. And we'll
bit.
touch on that a little bit later if we
Okay.
need to, if we have time.
I was just wondering because I feel like y'all have said that a lot.
I think Dallas, a lot of their problems coming from in the upper level.
Yes.
Jerry Jones, all that
He
is
need
what
to
we're
go.
saying.
They need to just tell him don't even come to the stadium.
Yeah.
Let us handle this.
We'll
You
Zoom
watch it from home,
Yeah.
so we can get a break and concentrate on the game. He be on the phone calling down there to the
Hey, McCarthy. Yeah.
Check
And
this out.
With the Patriots, with Robert Kraft, when Tom Brady was there, how often did you see Robert Kraft down there doing interviews, asking Brady what you thought? He got to give his 2 cents before Bill Belichick can give his 2 cents.
Yeah.
Mr. Jones, we appreciate everything that you've done for the Star.
Right.
We appreciate your finances, your family, everything. Please go up to that box
Chill
or
out.
take a helicopter and go back to where you need to go and let us do this.
Right.
He, the GM, the president, and the owner. What?
See, I didn't know all that.
Yeah, he
giving me news.
And
I
the
didn't know all
Joneses
that. I
family.
thought
That's
it was-
what. And let's see. And we can go ahead and talk about it. That's the difference between OU and Dallas. Oh, we don't have that. We don't have that. Joe Castiglione, our AD. Just, there you go, Bob. There you go, Brent. There you go, Lincoln.
Yeah.
Right.
Lincoln. Just go ahead and do your thing, and that's it. Whereas Jerry Jones, he feels like he has to be a part of everything always. That's not how all these organizations work.
Even
You
Hard
see-
Knocks.
No.
Yeah, thank you.
Nigga said, yep.
You got to be
hire
on the
these
hard
people.
knocks and stuff.
They hire these people to do specific jobs. And
Yes.
when you don't give them the
Freedom. Yeah.
freedom to do that, I mean, it limits them. I mean, it limits to what. Oh, I don't want to do this because I don't want him to get all. You know what I mean? 'Cause, like, job safety is on the line.
Yep.
I mean, you
Yeah.
got to listen to what he wants because his hands are so deep in everything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When your hands are that deep in the cookie jar, you're gonna do it. You might think you're gonna run a game plan, but you're gonna listen when that call comes down. You're gonna be like, well, he says to do this. Well, this is what we got to do. Like,
Yeah.
You're gonna follow that.
That's why it's so comical when you hear like these rumors about like who's gonna be the head coach. I'm like, hey, there ain't no way that dude finna go listen to Jerry Jones like that.
Right.
Hell no.
Does Jerry Jones got any football background that y'all know of? I know I'm going back in time because I know he old as hell.
I mean, as far as
I just didn't know as far as he
I
coached
know-
before or something.
As far as I know, it's just the money, buying
Money.
Yeah.
teams and being involved like that.
Yeah.
So
As
it's just
far as like actual play, I don't know. Maybe back in the
struck
day
it-
when they had that just the pigs.
Yeah.
and
Right, yeah.
strap.
Pee Wee football.
so
he
from my
struck it big
perspective.
and he struck it big in like the oil field and then that
Oh, okay. So from what I know, no disrespect, Jerry Jones. He's just an old white man watch football.
Right.
Yeah.
Straight
Throw
up.
that ball and just
Right.
out there telling people what to do. Okay.
So with Dallas, and we don't have to spend too much longer.
Go ahead.
And it's
Come on,
not.
man.
We're not just doing this because Tony's not here.
Right.
Listen, I love you. Get
Fuck
healthy.
Tony, nigga. Fuck Dallas, nigga.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, nah, he gonna talk about
All right.
that. Nah, Dad, I'm just playing.
He said he gonna talk about
Your
that.
dad too. I listen. I love you, Dad. Hey.
You know how mad they used to be? Though? They be sitting there on for Dallas. My dad, nigga, you don't like
Bro.
Dallas. I'm like,
I used to ask
tell
Tony. I
you.
said, Tony, can we go watch the Dallas game at your dad's house? He said he don't want nobody over there.
Right.
His wife and his child. He said y'all need to figure out something to do between the hours of 12 and 3 on
you
Sundays.
ain't lying, nigga. He be
At
in that bitch by
11:54,
himself.
it'd be like, it better not be not a soul in this household. I'm like, he's like that for real? Bro, I went over there at 11 o'clock. I had to see this for myself. I went over at 11:15. He said, hey, Kristen, what you finna do?
Yeah.
She looked like she was not ready to go lower. She ain't taking a shower, hair up in the bed. Tell us what you finna do. It's 11:15. They don't play till 3.
Right.
Tell me what you finna do. I wish I could look my wife in the face and say, hey, you finna play. What you got going on?
Right.
Climb in the gym that way. I ain't trying to hear none of that. He was just like, bye. That's
To make it
go.
worse, back in the day, we used to only go to his house on Wednesdays and Sundays.
Hey, just hey.
Sundays, goddamn Dallas song. So I know he in a bad mood. He be fucked up.
Bro, it's bad.
I can understand that. I can understand that because most of the time when I watch the Alabama game, I don't go to like the homies be at the bar and they be like wanting to meet up and talk that shit, got jibber jab. I'm in the room.
That's
by myself, focused.
That's about where I am.
Trying to wheel.
That's where I'm about where I am now. One, because of COVID. Two, because I love OU. I do. I love Oklahoma. My wife is going to divorce me if I keep buying stuff.
Gonna divorce me.
I am out on our fans. That's why I can't be a Thunder fan because you're OU fans.
Man,
Y'all are the most unrealistic people I've ever heard in my life. Shut up.
Yeah.
Admit it.
Right.
Don't. Somebody's better than your team. That's just how it goes.
Right.
You got 2 Bama fans right here. Usually anybody better than them. There was this year. That's not a knock. That's just how it goes. That's how life is.
but it's not Alabama being better than OU. I mean, according to OU, it's the coaching. We had
God.
that. It's our coach. It's the coach. If you guys didn't have Saban, you wouldn't be winning. I've heard that so many times. I'm like, what about before Saban came along? I was like, we were winning then.
What did Nick Saban do before he got to Bama?
One at LSU.
You see what I'm saying?
LSU.
So it doesn't matter. First of all, there's so much wrong. I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not trying to
Come on. We can go a quick one.
There's so much that's wrong with Oklahoma that it doesn't matter who you have at head coach. Listen, I love Brent. I think he's going to do a great job. I think Smitty's going to come in and get these boys right. Because one of the things that was wrong with OU this last year, you're undisciplined. Kansas, bro. No, let me get back on the Kansas rant.
I don't think I heard you on the last.
Bro, there's no way.
I was cracking up on you, and I was like, boy, he riding.
What? There's no way you're jumping. Brian Osabo, as great as he is, he's jumping off sides 4 times on the first possession.
Yeah.
Come on, that's undisciplined.
Yeah.
You won't. Hopefully, you won't see that with Brent. He's a very defensive dude.
Right.
With Smitty, OU's not going to be getting blown off the ball like we did against Baylor.
Right.
Texas, as bad as Texas had the worst O-line in the Big 12. They blew us off the ball. Bam, 7-0. Bam, 14-0. And we finally came back. It was like 14-7. I said, all right, here we go. Casey Thompson tore us apart. It was 28-7 against Texas that went 5-7. That in the last 5 years, Texas has lost you twice against Kansas. That team. OU fans, that's your best win this year.
Got this nigga started again. Hold on. Have we recorded since Caleb?
Into the transfer portal?
Yeah.
No.
That's fine.
Has he announced where he's
No, and it's a little ridiculous.
He going to USC, I thought.
But if you got to think that if he was going to, he would have already just done that by now. I don't know.
Look, nigga, I don't know who I'd be
think
following. I sent you that thing that somebody posted that he was in the uniform and shit. I don't know if I was showing y'all that, but
it may have been an unofficial visit because you get dressed and you see yourself like you're like good jazz. But all these OU fans going after, listen, they are all teenagers.
Right.
This is what they do.
Yeah.
They don't come because it's tradition, and some of them do. There's some normal guys that are like, listen, I want to go to OU. My dad was an OU fan. My grandpa, all that good jazz. A dude from Miami is not going to understand the tradition of Oklahoma like that.
Right.
He comes to see who is going to be able to get me to the big shield that says 3 letters on it. That's my job. And if Caleb decides that he wants to get up and jump ship, that's fine. Let him go.
Yeah.
I don't understand all these people going after like they went after Latrell McCutcheon. They're going after all these other players. Listen, this is a business now. Unfortunately, Lincoln Riley opened up that big ass can of worms.
Right.
Because it's not just coaches that are able to get to jump and leave. It's all these players that now get to do the exact same. Spencer Rattler, let him go. You see what I'm saying? Like, does it suck? It really does, as an OU fan, because we don't see this. Listen, I'll talk to whoever I need to. OU fans, we don't have head coaching turnover. We don't have guys just jumping ship and leaving. Oh, we don't have a quarterback. No. We know who our dude is going into the season, and that's it.
Right.
And so, listen, we said this right as Lincoln left. I came on this podcast and I said, listen, strap yourselves in. It's going to be a long ride.
Facts.
That's how this is going to go, especially now because these kids have NIL deals.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not just like, listen, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna transfer to, FAU. It's closer to home. My grandma's not doing well. It's no longer that. It's if I transfer to, Bama, am I gonna get a car dealership deal? Am I gonna get like a restaurant deal? And also, too, these kids are finally getting paid.
Officially.
Not really what they're worth, because that's a long list of what they're worth. If somebody tell me it's a scholarship, I will flick you in the throat. It is not a scholarship. Is not at all equivalent
Right.
to this.
Right.
My head coach is making $8.5 million, and I get free Jordans.
Man.
Right.
Now.
But don't you think he should have announced it by now?
No, he can do whatever he wants to. He
No, I'm just asking, and it's just in respect to everybody. That's just from my perspective. You know, I'm not an OU fan.
and
I'm just saying.
And I don't even think it's him so much as it is his camp. Like, his dad is really kind of making a fool out of Caleb. It's kind of like the Kawhi and his uncle type of thing.
All right,
you heard nothing from Kawhi.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But yet, he's the loudest one there. How the hell is he that loud? He ain't said nothing.
Okay.
It's his camp.
Because I feel like I done seen a lot of other people in the transfer board already saying where they going and stuff. So I'm just like,
because school started.
Yeah,
Like school
that's true.
started.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, but I see what you're saying. I was just meaning from outside perspective because I'm like, this nigga taking forever. Like,
No, and it is what it is. And if he does come back, he comes back. But OU fans, y'all got a lot of apologizing to do.
Yeah, because they're saying they didn't get that kid from, what is it, UCF or what?
UCLA?
No, is that what it was?
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, he went from Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
he went. He transferred from UCF to UCLA.
Yeah, and this what, his senior year?
Yeah.
And that's what they're saying. They're like, he didn't transfer to OU to be a backup as a senior.
oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
I'm very happy for Dylan Gabriel. Let me tell you something. If 13 comes back, you ain't starting. That may be a breaking news on from the jump, but you ain't starting if 13 comes back. I'm sorry. Like that. No.
Right.
And another thing too, we don't, and like I said, we don't have to be all day on this, but like with Caleb, you understand that you only started 7 games. Mm-hmm. The best 2 defenses that you saw, you lost. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like his camp is like, we deserved it. Do you? Mm-hmm. Because Spencer, at least, listen, I was a Heisman favorite coming in off of the season that I just had. Right. I won the Big 12 championship, and I beat a Florida team in the Cotton Bowl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Caleb ain't got that. You have 7 games where you went 5-2,
mm-hmm.
and 2 you should have won at least one or both of those games.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
You only have so much to like bargain with, and I don't know if it's NIL deals, if it's school, or whatever the case is. But if he comes back to OU, listen, I'll be supporting him. I'll be in here every Monday, like, hey, we should have done this, should have done that, or whatever the case is. But again, as I said before, you want this to happen now because we have this year, 2023, 2024, and then it's shipping down to the South. Mm-hmm. And we better have this stuff figured out. Otherwise, if you think 11-2 is bad with a head coach and leave and a transfer quarterback, strap in. Because 11-2 in OU world, 7-5 is going to be realistic. Yeah. That's how it's going to go.
You think that was really reason behind Lincoln Riley's abrupt decision to be like, all right, I ain't saying nothing because they don't want. I don't think that because he was a real, voice. He voiced the opinion that he didn't think that they should go to the SEC, and
it's hard to
voice that, but they weren't listening. They were like, "Well, we're moving. This is
more money."
Thank you. Exactly. I was like, there's not a soul out there that can tell them otherwise.
But job
those
security
contracts,
again. With job security going, like you said,
right?
3 or 4 years of taking a 75, season. What do you think they're gonna? Well, maybe it's the coach, and I think that was his thinking.
Yeah,
and then he was like, "I'm gonna stay." I
don't know if it's like the Ed Ogeron type of thing where because with certain universities you don't have time to figure it out.
Right.
With OU, I think honestly, with what he's done so far for us at least, he could be at OU for the next 10 years with these.
Definitely.
And he could have seasons where he's losing 3 or 4 games in those. So say he stays for another 10 years.
Right.
If he doesn't have not winning records, but if he has like 3 or 4 losses in that year, in those years, I feel like he's still there.
Learning years.
Definitely.
Because look at where you're playing. You lost to Florida. Well, you should be losing to Florida. But if you go to Georgia, it is what it is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You lost by Bama was an 8.5 point favorite. You lost by 6. That's a win. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But there's a lot of OU fans like, I don't have an argument against him being scared of the SEC.
Right.
I really don't.
I think like I said, that's just my personal opinion. He was thinking long term. The first 5-6 years was going to be establishing yourself.
Yes.
Getting recruiting, better recruiting, establishing, and trying to get your foothold in the division.
Yep.
And I think he was going to be like, knowing how OU's been in the past with coaches, 5-6 year seasons of not losing seasons, but like you were saying, 6-5.
Yeah.
Hey, at the upper level, they're going to be like, hey, maybe we should get a different coach. I think he was thinking job security. He was like, I ain't comfortable with this move to the SEC.
Yeah.
And because
I'm going to be safe.
And because going there, I don't. And listen, you guys, like you said, there's some crazy ass OU fans that you guys talk to. Ask them what their expectations are going into the SEC.
Oh, I've talked to a few like at work.
And a lot of these just we gonna be on ice skates.
Unrealistic. Unrealistic. What? They're not like just thinking realistic. All the cats at work, and this is what I'm saying. When we move to the SEC, I guarantee you we're gonna be we'll be 10-1, 9-2 the first 3-4 seasons. I was like, what?
Jesus.
I was like, boy, wake up out of this dream.
That's what I'm saying. Because you still in the SEC, you still got to make it to the SEC championship,
right?
And then you have Alabama, you have Georgia, you have LSU hit or miss here and there,
right?
Years, you know what I'm saying. Ole Miss comes back and tries to do something every now and then. You know, still Auburn's no slouch. You know, they can have a good year here and there. So it's just so many people to expect that you're gonna even make it out of the SEC.
Right,
is a hard thing to do.
Where's Clemson at right now? Like
ACC.
No, I mean in like the team.
They're shitty right now.
Well, okay, I used to know if they was in the stage of getting people or what.
Like Florida State after Jameson Winston left.
Oh, shit,
yeah,
okay.
I mean, you lose Trevor Lawrence and they just lost their DC. So, but I mean, I have faith in Dabo. Like they can afford to be bad in that bad of a conference. So I don't feel like they're going to be 7-5 for very long. If that's
I was just wondering though, because I was like, you mentioned all those teams. I'm like, Clemson was just on top. Like I feel like not too long ago. You know?
Let them get another DC. Let them get another quarterback. They'll be straight.
Right.
Especially coming out of that conference. But yeah, with OU fans, it is what it is. I don't. My expectations are baptism by fire. Mm-hmm. Like if you have to line it up, like obviously the SEC is better, but playing in Manhattan versus K-State versus playing Auburn at home, that's a whole different ballgame.
Amen.
Right.
Because even the worst of the SEC, football is different. How many times have I come in here and said that SEC football is different down there?
It is.
There's no undiscipline that you see. Go back, and I'm not trying to rub it in.
No,
go back and look at the national championship.
Absolutely.
You didn't see a whole lot of undiscipline going on. There were no false starts. There were no dudes jumping off sides and hold. Well, you had the one hole, but I get it. You know he
had to.
There, you got. I'll give up 15 versus 6. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But just that sound of football. If really the committee got it right with like yes they like those were the best two teams. I still feel like they should have done differently. But whatever. If you look at those two teams. Who else is touching Georgia or Bama just in this year? Look and see who's touching those two teams.
Right.
Ohio State might be able to score. There's nothing that you're going to do for 4 quarters against that Georgia front line. I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Are you serious? Bro, Alabama, they had 9 opportunities to get at least to the Georgia 30. They had to kick 5 field goals, and they only made 4.
Right.
That's it. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's hard down there. Mm-hmm. And all these OU fans, we're going to be fine. Y'all are in for a rude awakening. Listen, I love OU just like anybody else does. We're in a little bit of a downslide right now. Football don't look great. Men's basketball looks awful.
I thought the basketball team was doing all right though.
No, they are.
For a minute.
We are on a 4-game slid right now. The women are phenomenal.
The women
they just
basketball.
good. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
But the beginning of the season, the men were looking okay. Am I tripping?
okay.
They were looking okay, but they had some.
Not.
It's like they had good wins, but they also had really bad losses. So that made no sense. We just don't have a dude that can that you can just go and give the ball and that's it. He can score. That's
Ain't
it.
no Trae Young there.
We'll play defense. We'll play great defense on you. But
Scoring the ball?
We can score. I don't know if we can do it.
Right.
And of course, hey, who do we play Saturday? That's weird.
No idea.
We got West Virginia on Wednesday. Who we play Saturday? Auburn. What do they rate? Numero uno. What conference are they in? I wonder. You see what I'm saying? The shit just don't stop. It's so dumb. Oh my gosh.
I don't know how there's no college football on right now. We happen to start talking about OU, but it always
Bro, I'm
happens.
telling, bro, it's a little
funny. I know.
Baseball is just as bad.
It's funny. It's funny.
Baseball is just as bad. Bro, the whole MLB is all SEC. Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Mississippi State. You just saw Vanderbilt and Arkansas just play the World Series. 2 SEC teams. You said it's bad, bro. It's bad.
It's fucking hilarious.
All these OU fans think was gonna be okay. The only faith I got in is KJ Killer in gymnastics and Patty goes on softball.
Move on.
Can't nobody touch
Just
us.
move on.
That's it.
That's all he's gonna say a football player. This nigga said gymnastics.
College softball starts in 2 weeks. Let's get it.
Hey, college football they be killing them. Softball they be killing. They be killing.
We'll flip out the gym.
softball.
They do be killing.
So that was our little college tangent, man. You know, we always gotta have fun. No, not at all. Not at all. No need to apologize, man. So let me go back and bring it to the forefront really quick. So Dallas' defense, right?
Jesus God.
You know, Michael Parsons, Trevon Diggs. You know,
Micah played his tail off.
He did. I mean, that boy he's the real deal. Real deal for real. And then, you know, obviously Dak has all the weapons he could want, in my opinion, on offense. You have Amari Cooper, you have CeeDee Lamb, you have Dalton Schultz, you have what's supposed to be Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I'm saying? And you can't.
You left out
who?
The receiver.
Cedric Wilson?
Yeah, he's coming up.
Yeah, he's nice.
He's and Gallup
Yeah, he can't stay healthy.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I mean, he
Got a receiving core.
He's got a. I mean, you can't leave him out of that receiving. That
No, for sure.
They tight end too. Did you say they tight
Yeah,
end?
Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, my fault.
Yeah.
Oh, Jarwin's still injured?
Who Jarwin?
Not Jarwin. What the fuck's his name?
Gallup?
I'm related to the nigga and I'm tripping.
You said I'm related to
What's his name? What's his name?
Michael Gallup.
No, nigga, the tight end for the Dallas. The one that was before this nigga. Am I tripping?
Blake Jarwin?
Yes, Blake Jarwin. That's who the fuck I'm talking about.
He's out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's still injured though? I didn't know.
I think so.
Okay, my fault. I am related to the nigga. Don't
If you just like on paper, if you look at this Dallas game, like if you were to say, San Francisco went into Arlington, they beat Dallas because of this one thing, you'd be like, yep, that's Dallas. You had 14 penalties, that's Dallas. You see what I'm saying? You keep going down the list, this all happened in one game.
Yeah.
See, this is why I could be Dallas.
Are they the most penalized team? And they're like,
Yes.
as far as layoffs, they're the most penalized team in the league, leading in penalties. I mean, that's a killer. in
They're not
itself.
even good penalties. It's not like
No,
like we just
no.
said. You know, like Georgia, like pull him down, take a 15-yarder, and then regroup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Randy Gregory, what are you doing? I'd have cut his contract at halftime. In his face, he'd have come back and it would have been a shredded contract. What is that? That's you. Get the hell out.
Hear that Bruce Arians' ass?
No, are you serious? And then I don't know why we had to bring up Dallas last night. I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit after the
ahead,
Kansas City game. Why they got to bring up the time management with that?
Yeah, they did.
They didn't have to do that. And I told Tony, I said, listen, after that, they wouldn't play the Chargers and they got screwed over right before halftime. I said, Mike McCarthy is going to lose y'all a game, and it's probably going to happen during time management. And I'd be damned. Kellen Mond,
Yeah.
what? I need somebody to really explain to me what is going on there.
Why this nigga Dak try to run with 14 seconds left up the middle?
Well,
What was up with that call?
well, I got a
You
quick
got
question.
14.
Go ahead, real
I know
quick.
the clock
This is
goes
do with
up.
Dallas too,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's specific to this game, but I know I've been seeing it a lot with Trevon Diggs saying he gets beat a lot for double moves.
He gets burnt.
Why is that?
Because he went to Alabama.
Because he's so aggressive. He's so aggressive. He tries to guess the route.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I mean, and then when you hit him with a double move,
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
you tell, I'm jumping this route, I'm jumping this out, I'm jumping this post. So when you hit him with a double move, he's thinking you going here, but you know it's a double move, and so he gets beat on it because he's so
bites.
aggressive.
Yep.
So he's like too ambitious
Yeah.
almost.
I mean, you
Okay.
don't have 11 interceptions by not being aggressive.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta be
Yeah.
You know,
But that's just like I feel like that's like don't make sense. That's why I always was confused when I'm like, he got that many interceptions, but he kept like don't move. It
It's
should be
very-
easy.
He's
Not
very
easy,
high
but
risk,
you know.
high reward type
Okay,
situation.
okay,
Yeah, he's gonna gamble. He's a gambler.
Okay,
Like he
Yeah.
plays a lot of press coverage, meaning like he's right here on that dude. So like he said, if he cuts inside, that's it. I just got. If you see him on a replay, he's 8 yards nowhere near him.
So that's more his personal mindset, not
Yeah.
the defense, not
Yeah.
the coach
Yeah.
saying, "Okay, my fault." But y'all can go. Yeah, the last play I remember seeing that shit too.
Yeah, that
Hold on.
Prescott, I think, with like 14 seconds left, some shit. And I don't even think they had no timeouts. Nigga,
They didn't.
No,
he's
yeah.
gonna run a quarterback sneak up the middle.
He
Middle of
kept
the
running
field.
with the clock. Yeah,
Yeah.
he should have known. Yeah,
And then they asked, ain't gonna let the damn referee set the ball.
When you know the ref is trying to touch
The
ball.
ref has to touch the ball before you can hike the ball again. Then he gets bumped and then,
now that shit was weird. Y'all can't lie.
I've never
that
seen
shit was
that
weird.
ever.
He gives the ball to the center first off.
Yeah,
He
that's
gives
true
the ball
too.
to the center
Yeah.
instead of looking
Yeah.
for the ref.
Yeah.
Throwing the ref the ball. He gives the ball to the center. It's like, hey, hurry up and hike this shit. Like so, like did you
That's
forget
not-
the ref
yeah.
gotta touch the ball to set it in play? He touches the ball first, and then the refs trying to get through the line.
they made a wall. They
It
didn't
was
even get to the
They
ball.
did. That's fair.
That was a clusterfuck, bro.
But no
That was
matter
the
what,
dumbest play.
he's not supposed to be running a quarter. Like he should be clock management in his head.
Yeah.
I mean he's a quarterback.
But
so
the
it's like-
coach should have been like, I don't know, we ain't got no timeouts.
okay, yeah.
Why would you? I mean, he didn't shoot for a sideline. He ran right up the middle.
That's true. Yeah, it's true.
Two.
He didn't go for the sideline.
That's true. I ain't think about
For
that.
the ref, I feel like was a little bit behind the play. Not to defend Dallas, but that ref was way back
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
feel like he moved until they already set. Like I'm just like,
Yeah.
bro, get up the field. It does like theoretically, it does make sense that you get one try roughly 35 yards out versus two tries with Dak, who isn't really a bomb it down the
Right.
field, where you're at like 50, 55 yards. I can get two tries.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You also have to make sure that you have the wherewithal to know your players and situational football.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy, that ain't you.
Right.
And that was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad.
14 seconds left. Dak tries to run the ball up the middle. No timeouts. And they're down 6 points. So it's not like you're trying to get a field goal, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's when Dak, when he sees that, like, because there was about 2 seconds left whenever he was under center, you then have to, like I said, wherewithal. You look up, and if there's not enough time left, you just start calling shit at the line. Just run. I throw it down there.
Backyard
Just, you know what
bullshit.
I'm saying?
Give yourself a chance.
You got, yeah. But for it to, again, for Dallas to lose, and they had committed 14 penalties, that makes sense. For Dallas to lose in that type of situation, where you spike the ball and it's 0 seconds left, that's also something that happened. But like I said, all of this happened in one game.
And the man that you're paying $75 million to this year. $75 million. And your running back that you're paying, God knows.
They got like 250 million just in the offense.
And 2 players.
damn.
And you put up 17 points in a playoff game?
They should have never been in that situation, though, no matter what. At home, at that, and then y'all like come to the last second play.
Shit the
I
bed.
don't think you should have been in that situation.
So-
That's crazy, though.
Let's get to last night, man. Well, Saturday and Sunday, man. We just
Shit
came
been
off an
crazy.
amazing weekend of football. It was, I was one of my dad's always been big into football, so he's always watched sports. And it took me later on in life, probably the last, I'll say maybe 10 years or so, before I actually started genuinely watching football. So to, be able to witness these games, my team is Tennessee. We played the Bengals.
Oh, dear.
We'll jump into that, and just to see how close these games were. How shitty Ryan Tannehill is. Actually, let's just
Jesus.
go. Let's just go into
You said how shitty.
Bro, that clock said 14:58. Meaning there was 2 seconds that came off the clock on the opening kickoff. The first play of the game?
Yeah.
Tannehill, you're wearing blue.
Yeah.
I saw this and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not. First of all, anybody that's talking noise that don't have a team in the playoffs, tell them what time your team play.
Yeah.
Second, I was going to hit you up, not to like talk shit,
no,
but I
I
was
get it.
like,
We
DJ
understand.
was spot on. Because all year, he's like, listen, Tennessee's nice. And we get Derrick Henry back. Foreman's been playing nice. He's been a nice fill-in. But my fear is with number 17
Oh,
in the backfield. Let me just like,
Shitty. And like I told them, Captain Shitty. There was 4 teams that played 2 games. You know who played that day? I believe it was Joe Burrow, obviously Ryan Tannehill, and then the Packers and the 49ers.
Yep.
So, you had Aaron Rodgers play. You had Jimmy Garoppolo, who's You had Joe Burrow, who's been throwing that mug. And you have Ryan Tannehill. Out of all 4 quarterbacks, the only nigga to throw a touchdown was Ryan Tannehill. The only motherfucker to throw 3 interceptions was Ryan Tannehill. And we lost by 3 points. You telling me Aaron Rodgers don't throw a touchdown, Joe Burrow don't throw a touchdown, Jimmy Garoppolo I can understand. But the only person to throw a touchdown is Ryan Tannehill?
bro, it was unreal.
And then he throws in 3 interceptions. So let me get into
And
it.
he just kept on him.
And just kept, fuck it, man. You know what I'm saying? So Joe Burrow threw attempted 37 passes, completed 28 for a total of 348 yards, 9.4 yards completion, 0 touchdowns and an interception. Sacked 9 times. 9.
9.
As we've said. 10 times already in this
have that.
episode. 9 times. Joe Mixon had 14 carries for 54 yards and an average of 3.9 yards a rush with 1 touchdown. That was the only touchdown. Rest of the shit was field goals. Okay, but you know what? You can win that game.
They
when you
still
don't-
had
when you
no
score.
answer for Jamar
You
Chase.
can nickel and dime it and get a win.
Especially whenever you throw 3 interceptions. So, Ryan Tannehill attempted 24 passes, completed 15 for a total of 220 yards, an average of 9.2 yards of completion, which isn't bad, and a touchdown. But this motherfucker threw 3 interceptions and was sacked 1 time.
Jesus.
Sacked 1 time.
Had a QBR of 10.
Man, Deontay Foreman had 4 carries for 66 yards and averaged 16.5 yards a carry. Derrick Henry had 20 carries for 62 yards and averaged 3.1 yards with a touchdown. A.J. Brown had a touchdown, 5 receptions, 142 yards, and averaged 28.4 yards at reception.
Yeah, he gets his.
Yeah, A.J.
They're
Brown
all-
is nice.
every
He's
game.
extraordinary.
He's nice.
Yeah, he's nice.
I need to understand, why did you bring back Derrick Henry? Like,
I asked that nigga.
Because you
that.
have Ryan Tannehill.
see, Zach Taylor knew exactly what, like, he knew their hand before they walked on the field.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a Friday Night Lights with Booby Miles. How healthy is he?
Right.
Because I'm going to play this like he's about to only play 3 or 4 snaps. That's what they should have done.
Yeah.
Foreman had 4 carries. He had 66 yards on 4 carries. You keep feeding him. And then 3rd down and goal line, bring in Derrick.
Yeah.
Because clearly Tennessee was like, oh, we're going to pick off right where he left off. Football shape is a whole different animal when you're out 6 to 8 weeks.
Well, he's been attending practice for, he was 3 weeks?
Yeah.
They've been practicing for like 3 weeks before that game. He was like running. He was cutting good. I mean, but just like you said, I mean, week 5.
Yeah.
Well, what he went.
Yeah, he went
Yeah.
down.
Week
with that
5.
broken
I
foot.
mean, with a broken foot.
Yeah.
I mean, not only were you out, but you were out with a bone injury. I mean,
Yeah.
that's got to heal. I mean, you can come back and be thinking you're healthy, but your body's
That's where I'm like,
different.
I don't understand why Tennessee, that was their game plan. I'm going to just run him as if he's been this dude. Like, whoa. Ease him back in there because look at where you are.
Yeah.
Like I asked DJ, I said, DJ, if you lose Derrick Henry, do you think that you're playing? He was like, nah, not with 17 in my quarterback. Hell no.
No.
So I'm just like, that makes sense. You still have an effective running game, and you have just two monsters outside that can't nobody hold.
Right.
So leave Foreman back there and just let him keep going. And then when that defense gets tired, then I'm gonna bring in that monster. And now you got to tackle him on 3rd and 2 or 3rd and goal.
Right.
I'm just like, well, I don't understand. Like they were just, it's almost like you're force feeding Derrick Henry. And I was like, I'm not sure that I understand this.
Because you saying he had a screw? What did you say?
He had a broken bone in his foot, and they say that when you break something in your foot's kind of fucked up forever.
And he had a boot on too on top of that, right?
Yeah, coming
That's
into
weird.
it.
Because I was thinking, like, hypothetically, if they win the game and they keep going, like, they're going to keep playing him and just making his injury worse, you know what I'm saying?
He was gonna play.
They were gonna keep playing him.
Yeah.
And just like he said, they were gonna continue to feed him like he hadn't skipped a beat, like he hadn't been gone since week 5. It was like you know, like he'd been there the whole season. That's how they were feeding him in that game.
I wonder if that goes into maybe him or the management. Because I feel like that's bad for overall the
They'll
player's
definitely
health.
tell you,
know?
I'm good. But it's up to the coaching job to be like, no, well, this is how we'll do this.
Yeah.
Especially leading up to that game. Yeah, and they had a first round bye.
Yeah.
So Cincinnati played Oakland last week, 2 weeks ago. And so now it's this. And so you kind of test them in practice. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Okay, this is what got us here. This is what we're going to go with. There's a team out in San Francisco that's about to play in the NFC. That for some reason, they understand we give our best player the ball. And we're successful. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
In a sports, you give your best player the ball and you're successful. That's weird.
This nigga's stupid.
Holy shit, that's weird. And so with this, Tennessee, you need to run it because, like I said, and I told you, I said, listen, if they can't run the football and they have to rely on Tannehill to throw 30, 40, 50 times, this game's over.
Yeah, that's not how
Cincinnati's going to run off this field. And Cincinnati,
Really?
I'm kind of surprised that they only put up 19 points, to be honest with you. Tannehill, what else do you need, man? You throw 3 picks and it's a one-possession game?
He got sacked.
What?
He got sacked once.
He got sacked once, but after he got that sack once at one time, if you notice, he didn't set up in the pocket. He was happy. He had happy feet. He was so nervous that, all right, my backside, here they come. He would step up. He would set himself up to mess up. I mean, he wasn't setting his feet. He wasn't stepping in the pocket.
I'm just like,
Should have gave DJ the control lead to make sure that nigga
Oh,
perfect. No interceptions, nothing.
AJ Brown had them numbers in the first half.
This nigga,
AJ Brown.
Yeah, but he's a beast. And
He is
really
a monster.
He ain't no 6'4", 6'3" receiver.
Yeah, no.
Did you see that one-handed catch he had in the end zone?
Yes, that's
Everybody celebrating. I was like, I don't think he caught that. And in the replay, I'm like, how the hell did he caught that? Like, what?
yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Tennessee is so good. If you give any quarterback that's on their way, with like as far as like a valuable quarterback, you give Aaron Rodgers somebody that's on their way out, possibly on their way out. A Tennessee with a Derrick Henry, you give him an AJ Brown, you give him a Julio Jones, you give Russell Wilson, any of those weapons. I'm feeling comfortable about anything.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like our offense at that point, I would feel like could carry us instead of our defense. But our defense had to carry us against somebody that finished 5th in passing.
Yep.
And their receiver finished 5th in receiving yards.
Yep.
That's a rookie. So it's like
unreal.
And so you hold them, Joe Burrow, to 0 touchdowns, and you sack this 9 times. And you can't win a game. Why? Because you got Tannehill on your team.
With that bad of O-line, I'm putting the entire state of Tennessee in the box, and I'm going to make Joe Burrow beat me.
Man, bro, no bullshit. I would rather put Derrick Henry at quarterback.
It just didn't make no sense.
No throw.
No
Y'all
throw.
niggas is,
No, we would have ran a
That's
triple
foul.
option all game.
that's fine. You
If
can't
we
do
ran,
Tannehill like
if we
that,
ran
bro.
triple option all game, we would have won that game because there's no 3 interceptions.
So you've been going through it because Alabama lost and then the Titans lost. So you've been going through
I've been a mad mother.
You've been going through it.
It's just it don't make no sense. Like we're a good team, and everybody's like, well, blah blah blah. Y'all are the first seed. Y'all are supposed to be good. We are good in the regular season. Why? Because we can beat up on people for a while. But whenever you require a quarterback to throw the fucking ball, and he only threw it 24 times,
That's not a lot. Exactly. Yeah.
It's not like he threw it 40 times like everybody else. Joe Burrow. Let me see. Hold on. Let me go back.
30.
Yeah, you said
37 times.
Yeah.
37 times. And you throw 3 interceptions. And the Bengals defense ain't even that great.
No.
So, again, hopefully we get him the hell out of here. Russell Wilson, please. Aaron Rodgers, you're going to San Francisco.
Yeah,
next year
Aaron
anyway.
Rodgers, please come to San Francisco.
You going to San Francisco?
Get out of here.
Don't do
You
that.
know what I'm saying?
Why you say that?
Don't do that.
You don't want him
please.
over there?
No.
That's a monster.
Man.
You don't want that. So, now let's go to the team that, Aaron Rodgers' future team versus his former team, that they played, So, San Francisco, Jimmy G,
Bye.
Captain Ass.
He said bye.
I don't understand. This man only he threw the ball 19 times, completed 11 passes, had 131 yards, 6.9 yards completion, no touchdowns and interception. He was sacked 4 times and hurried 25 times. A quarterback rating of 11.9.
That's bad.
That's terrible.
Elijah Mitchell had 17 carries for 53 yards and averaged 3.1 yards a carry. Debo Samuels had 10 carries for 39 yards and averaged 3.9 yards a carry. George Kittle had 4 receptions for 63 yards and averaged 15.8 yards a reception. 0 touchdowns. And Debo Samuels had 3 receptions for 44 yards, 14.7 yards a reception. No touchdowns from Jimmy G or anybody else on the team. But you know what? Packers special teams is what they've been talking about all season.
Awful.
That shit, that blunt.
That was bad.
So let me tell you really quick before I let you go, bro. So I'm chilling in my room, right? And I'm like, okay, Green Bay got the ball back. Mm-hmm. There's like 6 minutes left. I said, Aaron Rodgers ain't finna lose this shit.
Right.
6 minutes, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's finna break because they said that he was 0-3 against San Francisco in the playoffs.
Right.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, this is his time to beat them. They got the ball back. 6 minutes. Aaron Rodgers can throw it to Devontae 2 or 3 times, run the clock down because what is it, a 40-second play clock? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, this is how it's going to go. So I'm like, all right, well, my dad's going to be pissed because
I was pissed.
Right, because I asked him.
Watching the game, I was pissed off.
I was like, Green Bay's going to probably beat San Francisco. He said, no, they're not. I said, why? He said, the defense, you know what I'm saying? He said, as long as Jimmy G don't fuck us off, he said, we're going to be all right. I said, all right. So, Jimmy G still didn't do shit, but that Green Bay Packers field goal or block punt. So I'm chilling. I go back to the game, and I'm like, what the hell? How'd they score a touchdown? 6 minutes left. Aaron Rodgers just had the ball. And then it's like block punt, blah, 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 just ran back for a touchdown. Right. I was like, oh, my God. And so let me go over to the Packers side really quick. Aaron Rodgers attempted 29 passes, completed 20 for 225 yards, and averaged 7.8 yards completion. Had 0 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, sacked 5 times, hurried 29. Aaron Jones had 12 carries for 41 yards and averaged 3.4 yards a carry. A.J. Dillon had 7 carries.
Yeah, that's it right
25 yards and averaged 3.6. Adam Jones led all receivers with 9 receptions and 129 yards receiving. An average of 14.3 yards a reception. Devontae Adams had 9 receptions for a total of 90 yards and average of 10 yards a reception. You hold Aaron Rodgers to 0 touchdowns?
Because that first drive is where I was like, okay, so if they can run this ball effectively like this, it's going to get real ugly because now they're going to have to really rely on Jimmy G to get them back into the game.
Right.
And for the longest time with Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers has never really had a defense that has helped him out in any type of way. Go back to the Super Bowl against Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger, it's just this right here. I'm like, is anybody going to hold Antonio Mahomes? Is anybody going to try to just put a hand on him or something? Right. And then Aaron Rodgers was like, bro, I just got off the field. We just had a 12-play drive. Now I got to go do it again because my defense sucks. Mm-hmm. Green Bay held San Francisco to 3 points up until the 4:41 mark of the fourth quarter.
All right.
They didn't have that block punt until the last 5 minutes of the game.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So they lost A.J. Dillon, and I'm not sure what happened, but that first drive they went down, I said, oh, dear. Mm-hmm. I said, Aaron Rodgers is coming for blood this time. Yeah. He got that ivermectin in his system. He's good to go. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden, Aaron, I don't know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. First of all, shout out to the weather.
We had him shook up.
Gosh, it was beautiful.
5 sacks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he wasn't used to that. Wheels on his back.
I told you, the law offices of Armstrong and Bosa is not what you want. They just showed Dallas they didn't want those problems, and now you got Aaron Rodgers. He didn't want the problems. Mm-hmm. He had to hurry out the ball a lot. There was one play specifically where I want to say it was either 10-10 or it was 10-3. And this is where they had to, and this is where he got sacked, and this is where they had to punt. Maybe it's right around that like fourth quarter mark.
Right.
Mina Kynes, shout out to her on ESPN, and Ryan Clark both highlighted it. Yeah. They had Devontae Adams on a post route. Mm-hmm. So run straight and then run a little bit left right to the post. Why it's called a post route. Mm-hmm. They had Allen Lazard on an in route, and he was wide open. Mm-hmm. But he had predetermined that I'm throwing this ball to 17. 17 was triple covered. Mm-hmm. Aaron, what are you doing? I'm not trying to knock on your team. That's the type of shit that you would see Jimmy G do. Mm-hmm. You got George Kittle right here. Where are you going with the ball?
Debo Samuels.
George is right there. You see what I'm saying? But it was stuff like that. I'm like, Aaron Rodgers is not here. Mm-hmm. He does not seem to be all the way here right here. And then the special teams. That was bad. Matt LaFleur told Troy Aikman, if our special teams does not roar its ugly head, we'll be in the NFC Championship. And I'll be damned. If the special teams didn't exactly just stamp, they said, we got this, and then also this, and we're really going to make sure that y'all don't go to the NFC Championship.
Right.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is 11-10 in the playoffs in Green Bay.
Damn.
That's
I didn't think
awful.
I didn't think it was like
that's
that.
terrible.
That's bad.
That's terrible. Yeah,
Damn.
I thought he was way better than that. 11-10.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. Dad, what was you thinking watching that game? Because obviously, like I said, you told me I was at the crib. He was like, "We gonna win that game."
When we went down, when it was 10-3, obviously, like I said, when Jimmy G, the first interception he threw, the interception he threw, he didn't step up in the pocket. He didn't trust his lineman to block. He saw this man coming, and he just threw the ball up.
Yeah.
I was pissed off. I was like, this is the shit I'm talking about.
Right.
This is what I can't stand this dude.
Right.
He's not a quarterback. I see a man coming. Instead of him use your lineman, he's going to step up in the pocket. He sees the man coming. Instead of him throwing the ball away or, try to elude, he just throws the ball to the opposite team. Here you go, guys. Here, take it.
To a
know what I
shitty
mean? So,
defense.
when we blocked that punt, because I left, when I get mad, I gotta go eat.
Yeah.
You're right.
You
I was
gotta
in the kitchen.
I wouldn't expect you to
do
say
that.
that. He said, I got to go eat.
Nah, no bullshit.
So when I
No
get mad,
bullshit.
I'm in the kitchen. I'm finding every leftover we got. So I'm in the kitchen. I'm eating, and I'm hearing. And then my wife goes, "You better come back in here. You want to see this?" I said, "What the fuck happened?" That's what I said.
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening? What they do now? Like that. And I'll go up in there and shit. And I was looking at it. I was like, what happened? Like, I was all excited when I saw the score. I was like, what happened? She was like, they blocked the punt and ran it back. Like that. And I'm looking. So I sit down, back in there. I was like, brought my food. I'm eating and I'm over there like, come on. Hold his lead. Hold on. Come on, defense. That's all I was doing saying to myself.
Right.
I'm willing it. And so, you know what I mean? The defense just carried us through. I mean, like I said, like he said, Aaron Rodgers just wasn't there, which is a plus for us. 5 sacks, even more. You know what I mean? Shook him up even more.
I was nervous on that field goal from goal to win the game. I was nervous. That
How huge
weather.
was that block punt, too?
I think I bit skin when I was trying to bite fingernails, and I was trying to chew off my fingernails. I bit down on skin. I was like, yeah. They're like, I was shook on that one. I was thinking it's over.
Yeah, because
You know what I mean?
that weather was not.
Oh, it was glorious.
Yeah.
I walked outside so disappointed it wasn't in Oklahoma, too. Damn it. Is it only out there?
He likes
love
it.
the
He
cold,
likes
bro.
it freezing his head.
Weird.
Man. Alex, did you have a chance of checking out that game at
I
all?
honestly don't. What day was this?
Saturday.
Yeah, that was Saturday.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I ain't gonna, and then sometimes I ain't gonna lie. I just be watching that motherfucker. I don't even realize that we playing at the time till later.
Hey, that's the best part.
But I
That's the
did
best
watch.
way to
I
it.
did watch ones last night, but Saturday I did not get to watch those. No.
Right.
That block punt by San Francisco at the end of the first half turned out to be like astronomical. That was massive. And I thought they were going to run it back at first, and he just fell down, and they were running just because it was a celebration, not because they had the ball. But I'm like, that may come back to hurt you.
Yeah. That was definitely a momentum changer.
Yeah.
And that's what we needed, too, also, because like I said, Jimmy G throwing that pick, they play on the team with this dude. I only get to watch him as a fan.
Yeah.
And when he threw the pick, I was like, there this motherfucker is. He done showed his true colors. And I was like, that's what I was like, here we go. So with them playing for him, I know when he threw that pick, they was like, there this motherfucker go. There he's fucking us up, right?
Right
it's
now.
over. I
Knew
know
it was
they guarantee.
coming.
They were like, shit, it's over. He's finna, he done. That's what their mindset was. They play with him.
Yep.
So they know how it is. You know
And
what I mean? I only get to watch and know how he is. When you right there on the sideline, you ain't see none of them motherfuckers go pat him on shit like it's all right. In their mind, it was like, this motherfucker get on my nerves.
He fuck around and knew it. Like, there you go.
And
I knew I was gonna fuck up eventually.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I didn't expect. I think Jimmy Garoppolo, besides the interception, played decent. Coming from where they come from, it's obviously San Francisco. You're used to the warm weather. You're going to play Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau, where it's usually cold. He's played in a million games like that.
Somebody turned on like the weather at halftime. And it was all clear. I thought it was going to be brisk. It was just dark and it was just super nice. And I went to the bathroom, took care of a little man, put him to sleep, and I come back. I'm like, who? Why y'all in here adjusting the sliders on Madden in the weather? And it was coming down. I was like, first of all, that looked gorgeous. But second, I was like, oh. That's what really hurt the Packers is because that's where you really needed A.J. Dillon.
Right.
Because Aaron Jones is not that
'cause
back to just beat you like that.
Right.
Nah, that new back, Dillon, I like the way he runs.
Yes,
He's a
sir.
big back, and like I said, it takes a lot to bring him down.
Yes, it does.
And he puts his nose in it when he gets in there.
Yep.
And everybody knows if you played the sport of football, tackling somebody when it's cold and your
It
bones hurt, and
hurt.
feels like everything breaks every time you hit somebody going full speed. And you have to hit these dudes full speed because if not, I'm telling you, it feels like you break every bone.
I
in
was
your
never
hand.
athletic enough to go play it really in high school, but I remember like as a kid being out there, like it was Thanksgiving. Hey, y'all, because it was kind of like how you was talking about with Dante and the tree. Dad was like, you didn't get to just sit down and around.
Right.
Your cousin's in town, your uncle in town, and then you're over super aggressive, like auntie out here talking about, I can be a man too, let's do it. I'm like, well, what time out? And it's 12 degrees outside, get the football, let's go. And there was no touch, it was tackle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm lying trying to tackle somebody that's 17 years old. And I was like, it's cold. And I will always remember that. I'm like, if that's what I felt like, I can't imagine in some of these frigid temperatures like you saw like with Buffalo and the Patriots playing, kick off a degree. What is a degree?
-6.
What?
I was looking at that. I was like, damn.
And then they had the audacity to show the coldest games ever. Who was there for those?
Those fans.
There was nobody in the audience with the last name Davis in there. I promise you that.
Man, I'm telling you.
-48. What is that? No.
Never in life.
That was crazy.
So, yeah, it's a crazy game, crazy weather, man. Glad the 49ers could pull it out.
Yep.
You know, I think my dad might be, a little crazy because, we're gonna talk about his prediction after this.
We gonna roll
he
with what we
predicted
just
these
said.
next two. He predicted these next two, but he was wrong. I tried to tell him. So
We're gonna roll with what I said. I'm gonna stick with my gun.
Where, before we hit on those,
let's go.
Green Bay, you can't let Aaron Rodgers walk.
I don't know what they trying to do. I don't know what the deal is with that. Why they aren't trying to let him stay where he's at. But I'm with them letting him go. If San Francisco makes that smart move, if San Francisco's not gonna make that move and be like, oh really? Yeah, let's grab that.
He's a California kid, so in my opinion,
he did go to Cal.
He's from there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And this is because I was doing some research or whatever yesterday. So his contract is up after this season. Devontae Adams is up after this season.
Right.
And then after next season, Adam Jones and A.J. Dillon's contracts are up. Mm-hmm. So it's like bam, bam, bam. If you lose Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers and then lose Aaron Jones or A.J. Dillon next year, it's like, damn.
So Green Bay got potential to be real shitty.
Real shitty.
Yeah, real quick too.
So
Aaron has a year left.
Mm-hmm.
He has 1 year left.
Okay.
And so they'll probably franchise tag Devontae Adams. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, if you do that, that doesn't really help you with the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes. I don't feel like
No.
because does it?
Because you're going to piss him off.
The franchise tag is just we can go on that another day.
Yeah.
It's kind of a slap in the face.
It is.
But Aaron, I want to say, is at like 42, like not age wise, but contract wise.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's a big hit. So I don't know if you try to move him or if you try to lock him down, but I think that if me personally, like if I am Green Bay and I lose Aaron Rodgers, it's not because I put nothing on the table. It's because he said no to the house, the yacht, the Bentley, and these 3 women with his wives who are out of town type situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna be like, well, we lost him.
We're gonna throw it all at him.
Because I'm sorry, I just don't understand these organizations that just let these superstars just walk basically. If I'm listen, I know it's Cleveland. You have to throw everything you got on LeBron. If it's Massachusetts, y'all better put the entire state. You better give Tom Brady part ownership of the Boston Red Sox. Here, take this. Here. What do we got to do to get you to stay?
Right.
Belichick, shut up. Who playing? He came. He's got more than any other franchise by himself.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Everybody, shut up. He got them things. It's all right. Production is really outweighing tolerance here, so everybody, shut up. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It's hard to just be like, sure, go ahead and leave. Now, as a Broncos fan, we would love to see it.
Yeah,
I'm first one
those are the 2 destinations that everybody's talking about. It's either Denver or San Francisco right now.
Because we the favorites.
So it don't look like he's staying at all.
He don't
Like he just don't.
one.
He's goofy, very weird.
Yeah, he's
very
a
weird dude.
cat. But this is how I'm feeling.
Like Kawhi Leonard-esque.
Maybe weird.
I don't know if I wouldn't say Kawhi was
Kawhi different.
like on another
He
planet.
big different.
Like they're like men are from Mars.
Yeah,
type.
this is true.
I'm talking about when the interviews, when I first saw him, the interview, And they were talking to him, and he did that. Like a laugh.
Yeah.
I was like, for real, laughing like that? And he was just like, and just looking in the camera like, and I was like, this cat is.
Yeah, he different.
Aaron Rodgers is, I'm immunized, but, he that weird.
He do be doing interviews and stuff, so I see what y'all saying. He ain't all the way off, but he's something off.
But this is my thing. Playing in cold-ass Green Bay, especially when it get cold versus going to San Francisco where it's sunny all the damn time, and if you have a winning record or, because there's no doubt in my mind, if you can do that with just Devontae Adams, that you can't do that shit with George Kittle and Debo Samuels and Elijah Mitchell, and then that defense. Ayuk, Brandon Ayuk, and then you have the defense of Nick Bosa and all those guys over there. Like, there's no, to me, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to San Francisco. I ain't going to go get cold in Denver too. Shit.
Also, too, it's you don't want to play Herbert and Mahomes twice a year.
Yeah.
So that's what all these Broncos fans. He's coming here. Hey, man, listen. A lot of these cats make these decisions. You saw where Tom Brady went. He wanted no part of the division that's going to give him any type of issues. He playing New Orleans, flip a coin who playing quarterback there, and then you don't know who finna be. It's old Cam or Cam of old, or Sam Darnold, and then Matt Ryan, which no knock on Matt Ryan, but he's not the MVP Matt Ryan.
He should have been gone.
So Brady ain't got an issue in the world. He's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to Tampa. Let's go there. You saw he didn't go nowhere where the division's going to give him any pushback.
Right.
So that's just where I'm feeling on that. So let's go ahead and get to the two bangers of a game that we watched yesterday, man. Very unbelievable. Back-to-back games. We'll start with the first one that happened at, I believe, 2 o'clock. The L.A. Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, man, let's just run the stats off, and then we'll get into the details a little bit later. Matthew Stafford attempted 38 passes, completed 28 for a total of 366 yards, an average of 9.6 yards of completion with 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and got sacked twice with 11 hurries. Cam Akers had 24 carries with 48 yards, an average of 2 yards a carry, and 2 fumbles. My bad, I ain't gonna put all those.
Yeah, they were huge.
2 key fumbles.
Two huge fumbles.
Anything else? Oh, receivers. Cooper Kupp, the baddest white boy on the planet. Baddest man on the planet. Baddest man on the planet.
Left that man wide open.
Baddest
crazy.
White chocolate.
So
you can't tell me.
He fucking black women?
Yes, absolutely. just like Travis Kelce.
Kelsey don't even make it fair. I'm not trying to be. He drives me crazy. I'm not trying to be weird. You can't be that damn gorgeous
and be that good.
That's man.
We're not gonna pause none of that. We just gonna.
And that's not gay.
Yeah, he's a handsome man.
He said attractive. He said gorgeous.
Am I wrong?
That's crazy.
Hold on. Tell me Travis Kelce ain't attractive.
I really looked at him. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Objectively,
his wife loved him. I know that.
You see why women.
She's beautiful, but you know why he pulled that. You see how he moved. You can tell he not grew up around black people.
Yeah,
okay.
He got that. I'm cultured type. You know what I'm saying? I'm culture swag. The way he moved, he be trying to do his little jigging. I'm like, hey, he got a little thing.
And then you see him walking on the pregame. I'm like, oh, he is.
Oh yeah, look, coming out that leg straight like in mobile, like I'm finna do something bad.
So he in the locker room calling people niggas, probably.
Probably.
And they don't even think twice.
And they like, yeah, nigga, shut up. Back at it.
Let it slide.
That ain't no big deal.
Man, Cooper Kupp had 9 receptions for a total of 183 yards, an average of 20.3 yards of reception, 1 touchdown. His longest catch of the game was 70 yards. Odell Beckham had 6 receptions for 69 yards, an average of 11.5 yards of reception.
Was that 70 yards the last play?
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn. I was like, I remember how deep it was.
Was it that one or was it the touchdown?
The touchdown. That's right.
Okay.
That was 44 yards.
Okay.
And it's crazy. Just listen to these averages. So Cooper Kupp averaged 20.3 yards of reception. Odell averaged 11.5. Tyler Higbee had 4 receptions for 51 yards, an average of 12.8 yards of reception. Van Jefferson had 2 receptions for 29 yards, an average of 14.5 yards of reception. Like, these dudes was out here getting a first down and a half every time they caught the damn ball.
Somebody caught the ball.
That's what that's ridiculous. Cooper had the receiving touchdown, and Matt ran one in. Oh no, Kyle Blanton, or let me make sure I'm not fucking his name up. Something Blanton.
Yeah,
Kendall Blanton. Kendall Blanton.
Oh, you talking about his first name?
Yeah, the tight end. He caught the first touchdown. So let's go over to Tom Brady.
Jesus.
He attempted 54 passes, completed 30.
What is
God damn.
What is that?
At 44, that nigga's shoulders fucked off.
What blew my mind, how well Leonard Fournette was running the ball, but they were still trying to put it on Tom Brady's shoulders. Yeah. I didn't understand he's the greatest of all time, but when you got a running game effect, like you running that effectively, use that to your advantage.
I'm telling you.
And then start waiting till the defense starts sucking up. And then start putting Tom to work.
Man.
A little play action over here. You know what I'm saying? They got plenty of play actions where they can.
There's plenty of, and then like when, and not to cut you off,
go.
like whenever like Antonio Brown left and they lost Chris Godwin, you had guys on Twitter and all over the place like, "What's he gonna do?" I said, "Oh, y'all must be new to the TB12 show."
Yeah.
He was out there throwing the truck drivers and grocery dudes in Foxborough.
Mm-hmm.
What was I telling you when you said the same?
I did.
He said the same thing, and I was like, "It's Tom Brady. He
Yeah,
doesn't have
yeah.
a favorite receiver.
Yep.
He goes through progressions, and whoever's open is going to get the ball.
Man.
You know what I mean? I was like that.
He tried to turn Scotty Miller into
I
Julian
was
Edelman
just
at the
about
end
to
of the
say.
game.
I was just about to say the same. Shit.
Yep.
So Tom Brady had 329 yards at the game, and then he averaged 6.1 yards of completion. Had 1 touchdown pass and 1 interception. Sacked 3 times. Hurried 21 times.
Jesus.
So Leonard Fournette had 13 carries for 51 yards, an average of 3.9 yards a carry with 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans had 8 receptions for 119 yards, an average of 14.9 yards a reception and a touchdown. Gronk had 4 receptions for 85 yards, an average of 21.3 yards a reception. Leonard Fournette had also contributed 9 receptions for 56 yards, an average of 6.2 yards a reception. Scotty Miller had 4 receptions for 38 yards, average of 9.5 yards a reception. So yeah, man, all I know is Tom Brady is sore as hell.
Oh yeah.
Von Miller
he doing
and
Subway commercials.
Aaron Donald was beating the
And who else?
shit out of that man.
Who else?
Aaron Donald.
And who else?
That man.
Who?
Okoronkwo.
Oh, Okoronkwo.
Where he go to school at? I'll wait. Anyways,
Okay. Okay.
I'm glad Tom Brady ass got hit. Nigga need to get hit.
But
Hit him in the face.
man,
Who
Stay
was?
off
I
the
didn't even
man's
see
face.
that play. What? So what? I didn't even. I just seen it on Twitter.
I
His
think it
lip
was
was
Von
bleeding.
Miller.
and shit.
He just took a helmet to like the
Yeah,
like
the
right
chin
here.
strap. I think the chin strap like pinched him. But when he saw that blood, yeah, he flipped out.
He's like, damn, I can't make out with my kids tonight.
Oh, okay.
here's wild, boy.
This man.
He knows what he's thinking about.
Man, so we're watching that game, man. Obviously, Matthew Stafford's off to a hot start, man. Throwing touchdowns, getting the job done. That Rams defense was holding it down. Shit, what was? You can plug me in on the scores at halftime, but yeah, I just seen. And then came the fumble game. It's who can fumble. Who can let Tom Brady in this game?
Right.
Cooper Kupp fumbles the ball. Cam Akers fumbles the ball. Cam Akers fumbles the ball. And then the center decides to hike the ball over Matt Stafford's head. And he said, well, Tom Brady just fumbled the ball. This is Tom Brady's. We got to give him the ball back, see if he can get to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Do you think that was crowd noise? What the fuck was that?
I have
He
no
spiked like who? Because I was confused as hell. He's like looking, wasn't paying attention.
And just hiking.
No, I know the dude obviously hiking is the main one, but they got that snap count in their head, right? Am I tripping?
Or maybe he heard or thought he heard something. And
I was sitting there like, damn, dude, you wasn't like usually like maybe it's like they had paying attention they get, but he wasn't even looking that direction.
yeah.
And that's what fucked up the whole game, obviously. But I was like, damn, he probably got a lot of shit for that.
Dad, what was you thinking watching that game?
Where was I at? When Tom Brady, I was like, all right, Tom, where did I go?
Kitchen.
All right. That's
food.
what
Gotta
I
get the
thought.
food.
Started eating. I started eating. I was mad.
I mean, my dad, he felt more comfortable playing the Bucks than playing the Rams going into the
Yeah,
next.
I was
okay.
like, we beat up on the Rams that far earlier in the season, but I know that's not gonna happen again.
Right.
That's not gonna happen again. That's why I was like, if Tom Brady, that's why I was cheering for the Bucks. I was like, I think we can take the Bucks. Like you said, Godwin's out. They've lost
Their tackle,
key players.
their starting right tackle.
Yeah, right tackle. I was like, I think we can take the Bucks. The Rams.
Von Miller,
Yeah,
Aaron Donald,
we beat them
Jalen Ramsey.
early in the season. But I don't know what happened to give us that win, but I was like, I'll take it. To
That
do
was
it
to get you guys
again,
in the playoffs, right?
yeah.
That was crazy.
I was like, to do that again? No. Jimmy G.
Jimmy G, man.
Jimmy G. I'm like, yeah, it's done. This is done. And you're not just gonna rush. I don't
Yeah.
care how good Debo is.
Yeah.
You're not gonna just line up and rush, and thinking that's gonna get you through it. No, you can't. And then we can't throw the ball.
Yep.
So one dimensional.
And you saw Arizona the week before. Kyler Murray was running for his life.
Oh, yeah.
So the entire time they were like, Tom Brady ain't doing that. There's no way you asking Tom Brady to go run around like that because he tearing something.
Hey, he thought about it. What was earlier in the first quarter?
Yeah.
He stepped through the pocket. I thought he was gonna run. I said, "Oh shit, Tom!" He stopped to try to throw it. I was like, "Oh!" I thought I was going to see him get the feet going.
Yeah, Aaron Donald had 5 tackles, I believe it was, 3 solos, 1 sack, and 2 tackles for a loss.
Yeah.
He was just disrupting shit.
Man, he had Tom Brady on skates, like sliding around in the pocket all night.
Shit, when you got
he was dogging his little dude.
you got Aaron Donald coming from your right side, and then you got Von Miller coming up. He busting your ass, man. Pause. I know you
Stepping up in the pocket.
I wouldn't even, but yeah, pause. You always saying gay shit. I don't know.
Shut up, nigga. Billy Earl, what was you thinking, man? Watching that game.
Man, it's hard to see my man go through that. I was like, somebody do something, help him.
That's what I said after the game. I was like, I felt bad, man. Like,
Yeah, it
know?
is what it is. It sucked to see Brady do that, but honestly, man, you just got to have the help. You know, like you said, he stepped up, and Aaron Donald was right there. Or if you try to drop back a little bit, Von Miller's coming off the edge. There's no answer for that. And this right here is why the Rams levered their future to get a guy like Matt Stafford and to bring in a guy like Von Miller is because now they're about to host the NFC Championship and potentially host the Super Bowl at that $5 billion play spin, which that's extraordinary. One of the things that I saw, like as I was going over notes, first of all, Brady had a QBR of 14. Jesus Lord! Through 3 quarters, Tom Brady was 19 of 17 for 204 yards and a pick. 37 through 3 quarters. That's all that. Like they just tried to do that. Like you know how they usually like NBC will do it where they do like the NBC it, whereas like they're dropping back and you can see how quickly Tom's getting that ball out of his hand. You can't do that with number 99 coming down. That is one dude who truly like. It doesn't matter who you cheer for or who you like. That is the guy that you like. Listen, if my son's playing football, pin your ears back and you go.
Right.
Sean McVay never has to look at 99 and say, hey, man, you need to step it up. Now, obviously, through an 18-game season, he's not going to go all the way or 100% every time. But through the playoffs, these last 2 games, he has been disruptive. And it has been incredible to see.
Yeah.
That's the best quarterback to ever touch the football, and you just completely threw him off. Now, one of the things is that Matt Stafford, I don't know if Sean McVay, if they took their foot off the gas or if like the life in Tampa Bay started to come back a little bit, but you were up 27-3. You have got to slam the shit out of that door.
Yeah.
You have to keep playing as if it's 0-0. Cam Akers, you got to get him out the game. Sony, come here. We don't have time for turnovers because he fumbled the first time. Cooper Kupp then fumbled at the towards there to the end of the first half, second quarter, first quarter. And then the one fumble that I didn't think it was a fumble at first.
Matthew Stafford?
No, with whenever I was like he flipped and his helmet
Akers fell on his head.
I was like, first off, I didn't know a helmet equals 2 feet. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I heard them say
I was like,
that
oh, okay, cool.
Right.
I was like, well, then he's fine. No, he fumbled. You
on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, you almost have to have Google. Nobody's talking to you. You almost have to have a perfect game against Brady,
Right?
Because he'll pick you apart. And then when he finally got time, what happened? Bam, 75 or 45 yards down the field. Mike Evans. I said, oh, dear.
Burn Jalen Ramsey.
But see, Jalen got caught napping.
That's what I was gonna say.
He got caught sleeping.
The whole game, Jalen sat on Mike that whole game, one-on-one. It wasn't no, hey, safety's over the top. He sat on him the whole game, which took Tom to have to start going to Scotty Miller looking for prompt. And then finally, like I said, a couple of times, which we expected that. Mike, got the best of Jalen, but you know what I mean? When you take your best receiver that you got at that time, I mean, with Godwin gone, and he's
definitely
the whole half eliminates him takes him out the game. You got to go underneath. I mean, which it gives your defense, hey, everything's coming underneath. I mean, we got deep.
Yep.
I mean, we can cover underneath.
And also,
we can break them. We can play on that.
And I love him. And I have the Patriots Brady jersey in my closet, but Brady's not going to beat you deep. Not like that. He's not Mahomes or like Josh Allen or Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to do that.
Right.
He can from like the 50th moment, but as far as like, we've got to make sure our safety's back, you don't have to do that. And you have to hone in on one dude. Now, Gronk, obviously, that's a load to tackle, but if you have to tackle him more than 12 times a game, he'll take himself out because he's hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So one of the things that I saw that was really interesting on NFL Rewind was that the Bucs didn't have 3 first downs in all of their drives, except for like the last 2 where they finally scored and tied it up.
Yeah,
because they went out 3 and out. I don't know how many series.
Did you say
3 and out? 3 and out. I kept saying, damn, 3 and out. 3 and out.
And I kept looking, and I'm just like, when it was 27-20 or 27-21, when they were down 1 possession, and I was like
27-20.
It was 27-20, and I'm like, if they get a stop right here and they can figure it out, I was like, for something like that to happen, definitely has to take the sails out of everything Los Angeles has thrown at them.
Absolutely.
Because Matt Stafford is not like an Aaron Rodgers where he's been before, or Mahomes where he's been before. Now McVay's looking at number 9 like, hey, man, this is why we brought you here. Bring it home. And then, as the Bucs go, and they score, and they tie it up,
what was 42
somebody,
seconds?
Yeah.
Somebody forgot that there's a young man in Los Angeles
Man.
who led the league in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. First off, Todd Bowles, I got issues with what you did. I'm not very like good with like specifics and all this good jazz with football. What I do know is that like blitzes and like man coverage and zone coverage, I can understand that.
Right.
Why the hell are you zero blitzing on this?
I didn't understand that at all.
And then you had Levante David who didn't even pick up the signal.
Miscommunication.
Yes.
Where he just let the man run by and he didn't even try to run.
Sean Murphy Bunty was on an island by himself. Yeah. There was no safety help back there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
he's new on the defense. The corner.
I forgot his name.
Because remember I was like,
they brought in a lot of new ones.
Yeah, it's a new guy. Well, because he didn't. Everybody knows. Yeah, don't stay deepest with the deepest. This man ran right past him. He doing this. He backpedal. The man ran past him instead of him trying to get in pursuit. He just kept shuffling, backpedaling. Yeah. I was like, how you not going to run with this guy? I was like, what kind of defense is that?
I was so confused. And again, I don't get paid $1 to look at it.
You're gonna have a breakdown in communication like that?
What's really like that is the other reason why I don't run a zero blitz is also because they need 3. If they need a touchdown, you put your heels at the 20 and you just nothing deep and nothing cheap.
Right.
Yeah, I'll give you this 15-yarder and I'll give you a little Tyreek Hill where he runs around and he ran 40 yards for a gain of really 20. That's fine. How do you listen? It is not a knock. I'm not the biggest fan just because of what happened with Odell with Baker, but you almost are able to live a little bit and sleep better at night if Odell torches you, or even if Van Jefferson beats you. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You cannot let Mr. Triple Crown go for. He went for what? What did you say? 9 for 183?
Yeah.
There's no way that happens.
In the last 42 seconds, he had the 2 big catches.
Yeah, 20-yard gain and a 44-yard gain.
At that time out. Hold on. Hold.
What are y'all doing?
What just happened? Clearly, first of all, and for that to happen after that 20-yard gain, and then you decide to run a zero blitz where half the defense don't even know what's happening.
Man.
I was like, y'all have cost Tom Brady a trip to the Super Bowl because this is unbelievable.
Yeah, the defense gave that up, definitely. They did.
And Levante David has said it before. He's like, we've played this team before, and whenever we tried to run this same play, something else happened. I think it was like Odell beat him deep. I don't think it was a touchdown, but he beat him deep. And they're like, why would happen? Miscommunication.
Bro, I'm sitting there literally like
what
in my parents' room because we was all watching it in there, and because they show you the game from the side,
right? Yeah,
so you can't really see the full length of the field. So I'm watching, and then I see the linebacker kind of right there, and on the hike ball, boom. So I seen the linebacker, and he's just standing there like squared up, and I seen Cooper Kupp run past him. I said, "Oh, there must be a safety."
Had to be.
I said, "Oh, there gotta be a safety."
There's no way. And poor Sean just gets burnt, and I'm just like. Because you see 10 just fly, and that boy is fast.
Yeah.
So he darts down the field, and then all of a sudden you see NBC zoom out. I'm like, there is not a white jersey back there.
None.
There's no safety. There's no nothing. And then he catches it, and boom. And I'm just like, that didn't just happen.
And there's like 2 things. That could have easily been a fucked up pass because Cooper had to slow down to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it could have been a deflection. Because I'm like, if he would have led him perfectly, there's nothing but green grass in front of him.
Yeah, and I think he beat Sean by at least like 6 yards. And I agree with you, he did have to slow down to come get that. But also, too, if you have those linebackers press on the line of scrimmage and they're up there and make Matt Stafford. It's not a knock. He's playing great in the Sean McVay system. But if you throw, 5-6 dudes in his face, it makes it a little bit more harder.
Absolutely.
Because guess who they just did that to? Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Right.
They had no answer. You know what I'm saying? So get in his face and force him to check it down or something. No, they just leave 10 wide open and just bomb it down the field.
For 2 plays.
It was
unreal.
That's the main word right there, unreal. Because I watched it twice. I was like, 42 seconds. I was like, you're going to give up 2 big chunks of yards.
Right.
Knowing all you got to do is just let the time run out. And you know what I mean? And you 44 yards.
And they had no timeouts. They had no timeouts.
And that's what I'm talking about.
And this is off of one of the, not like I think the Atlanta comeback was crazy, which really that was also on Atlanta, but just like how they came back in their own home stadium. Everything that could have gone wrong for Los Angeles for them to come back went wrong.
Right.
You have 3 turnovers that you get all 3 fumbles, and you're able to score off of them. I'm just like, oh, dear God. And then you fourth down, Leonard Fournette, bam, touchdown. I said, oh, is Brady finna do this for real?
Again.
We got to hear this all over again one more time?
I was thinking the same
And I'm
thing.
just like, oh, dear Lord. And then the defense get a little bit. And Todd Bowles is so much better than this. This defense is so much better than this.
Yeah,
And y'all get beat with less than 60 seconds left on the clock.
man. Dominican Sue with a
42
big strip
seconds.
on Akers. all
42
that.
seconds. I'm shoveling everything underneath.
You have to.
We can.
Yes.
We can. Nobody getting beat deep.
Force everything up
Funnel
the middle.
everything underneath. Yeah, we can make a play on it. If it's underneath, you got linebackers still in pursuit. Your corners can come out their breaks because the play's been already established. You come up and make the tackles. No timeouts left. Keep it from running out of bounds. Make a tackle.
Yep.
I'm gonna run a zero blitz.
Zero blitz, man.
I got one dude on the right side of the field that's in coverage. Cooper Kupp runs up. It looked like he running like a little post.
Skinny post.
Hey, runs a little post.
And it wasn't anything fit, no double move, nothing.
No,
He just ran.
Just runs past the corner.
Yep.
The safety, whoever that dude was, he's new. Whoever he was, he's sitting there bouncing. Cooper Kupp running right past him.
Nobody.
Cut-
I had
nobody's
PTSD
there.
as an OU fan. The deepest man on the field should never be getting beat like that. Not in that situation. There are times, obviously, like we play Tyreek Hill, you just gonna get beat. It is what it is.
Right.
You're not that fast, yeah.
It's 42 seconds left. If you come up with this monster comeback, that can't happen.
Yeah, but as a defensive player, as a safety, you know nobody's behind you.
Yes.
I mean, so you gonna let
Yes.
this man run past you because you know you ain't got no help. You the last line of defense.
Yep, that's it. It's just you.
It's no thinking. That was no thinking.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You just let him run past you and you sitting there bouncing, pointing. He's pointing at the man while he's running past him.
He pointed at grass.
I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
He pointing and the man's running past him. You the safety.
That's you.
You're the last man
Yep.
back there and you gonna just point at him. I was like, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. It is what it was, man. So the LA Rams will be moving on to the NFC? NFC Championship game.
Going down.
They will be playing the San Francisco 49ers, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But an even crazier game, in my opinion. The Bills and the Chiefs, man.
This just.
So let's get to this, because I didn't think that it would be as high scoring as it was. I thought it was going to be a lot of nickel and diamond. The defenses will hold. Now, I understand that Buffalo's defense was rated number 1 all season as far as, passing yards, different things of that nature. So I was like, okay, this is going to be kind of tough on Patrick Mahomes, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Josh Allen had 37 attempts, completed 27 for a total of 329 yards, an average of 8.9 yards a reception, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 2 sacks, 16 hurries. Josh Allen also had 11 carries for 68 yards, an average of 6.2 yards. Devin Singletary had 10 carries for 26 yards, an average of 2.6 yards a carry, and a touchdown. What I found very interesting, and I'll just say this really quick. This is like a little tangent, but I was talking to my dad, and I'm doing, I do FanDuel shit like that. So I'm sitting here, and I'm like, Dad, I was like, should I switch Travis Kelce out for this dude? Blah blah blah. blah.
What was his name?
Gabriel Davis. Gabriel
Yeah.
Davis.
And he was a killer.
Right. I was like, I said, he was like, who's that? I said, he's like the third, whatever. He's like the third option, but he been doing all right. He was like, I don't know about him. He said, I ain't never heard his name. Yeah. And I luckily, because I made like 5 teams, I kept one. We kept him on like 2 of them. He ended up giving me like 50 points.
Jeez.
So Gabriel Davis had 8 receptions for a total of 201 yards, an average of 25.1 yards a reception with 4 touchdowns.
He made his name last night.
Right. Yeah. Cole Beasley was second as far as 6 receptions, 60 yards, an average of 10 yards a reception. The rest of them, Devin Singletary had 4 receptions for 25 yards.
I like him a lot.
Stephon Diggs
Back at FAU, I like him.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs had 3 receptions for 7 yards.
That's what I think that was like the X factor. Mm-hmm. He was silent the whole game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your leading receiver, and you don't hear nothing. I was thinking he was hurt for a while, like the whole. I was like, what's up with Diggs?
Yep.
I was going through my head. I was like, you got a burner, but you ain't hearing nothing from him. But this Gabriel, whoever this cat name was, I was like, he over here just shining out. I was like, I guess Stephon Diggs must be hurt. And I went in there and I saw him catch a little 7-yard or 6-yard little catch. And I was like, what's the deal with this?
Especially with Tyrann Mathieu going out.
Right.
Yeah,
I was like, they have no line of defense back there. That's it.
When he said Tyrann, I said, "Ooh, take advantage of that."
Yeah.
And they did, but
It was late.
Nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, he became somebody last night.
Right.
But Stephen Diggs, you know, if he could have did that on both sides,
yeah.
and they wouldn't have known how to defend that.
Yep.
You got a man on this side, you got a man on this side. But Stephen Diggs was like, all right, I'm gonna let him carry it. I'm gonna let this man carry the load. Like he took off that night.
Oh, for sure. Patrick Mahomes had 44 attempts with 33 completions, a total of 378 yards passing, 8.6 yards completion with 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked twice, 8 hurries. Patrick Mahomes also had 7 rushes for 69 yards, an average of 9.9 yards a carry, and 1 rushing touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 7 carries for 60 yards, an average of 8.6 yards a carry. McCall Hardman also had 2 carries for 31 yards, 15.5 yards a rush, and 1 touchdown. Passing, Tyreek Hill had 11 receptions for 150 yards, an average of 13.6 yards a reception with 1 touchdown. Travis Kelce had 8 receptions for 96 yards, an average of 12 yards a reception, and the game-winning touchdown. Pringle had 5 receptions, 29 yards, an average of 5.5 or 5.8 yards a reception, and a touchdown as well. So, Billy Earl.
So much to unpack with this game.
Right. Let me go with you, Alex, because I know, like I said, Alex, I appreciate Alex because Alex has been doing his homework a lot, and he's been watching a lot more sports than I've known him to, and he's usually, if not the first one, the second one to hop in the group chat and be like, what the fuck is going on in this game? So,
God, be confused as fuck.
This is a hell of a weekend for you to be like, hey, I'm going to tune in now.
No, I was lost.
You like this all the time?
Is that what I asked you about the timeout thing? About the ice and the kicker? Is that the
Yeah.
Yeah, that. And then, man, Patrick Mahomes, that side throw shit he be doing?
yeah.
Stupid.
That shit's unbelievable.
He does
Baseball
with
throw.
That baseball throw.
That shit is weird, but he do that shit
But
like...
he be on point with it.
Yeah.
He make that shit. He throwing sliders, going up. He throwing
Curveballs.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is not baseball. This shouldn't be. This isn't how this shit works.
Right.
But he throws that sidearm. I'm telling you, he'll like, it's gonna drop on you. He does it just like he playing baseball, and it's effective.
Yep.
Very
I was gonna
effective.
say, I feel like when I watch him play and do it, it's not that he's trying to be flashy or something. It's like he has to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like he's that creative ability where he has to do it, but he can. I'm like, that's crazy as hell. But is that the game I was asking about though? I don't remember.
Well, 3 of them ended on.
I know most of them ended on field goals and shit,
Yeah,
but
literally.
I couldn't remember. Well, we can get in that conversation too, anyways, about the ice and the kicker thing. I mean, I know normally it don't work, but I just was like under the pressure. I feel like I see it so often that they call timeout because Alice was watching. She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Just imagine." I said basketball because basketball. LeBron said somebody better shoot the free throw to win the game.
Exactly.
Call timeout, just make you think about it a little bit more. But I was like, they didn't even do that, so I thought that was weird.
Well, those guys aren't on the field very often to where they need to be. Like the game is on their shoulders,
Right.
in those high pressure situations. Usually, it's we have to get X amount of yards to get a field goal. We got to get X amount of yards to get a first down, and we ice the game. That's it. With kickers, they're usually just on the sideline, like just kicking, practicing. They'll do field goals. They'll do the kickoffs.
Yeah.
When it's on the line, the kicker's going to start to feel that pressure a lot.
Right.
Exactly.
Mahomes has felt that. Brady's damn sure felt stuff like that. Aaron Rodgers has felt that. But the kicker, it's all on you. And, all you got to do is kick. It's a hell of a lot harder than you think it is. And so for that, every time, I would absolutely do it to try to ice him.
Yeah, I thought that was. And then is this the game? So like so many football this weekend. With the touchdown, last second touchdown, right? Or it was a couple minutes left.
It was a walk-off touchdown.
It was like at the
walk-off.
corner,
Yeah.
right? Because I thought they were trying to figure out if it was a touchdown or not. Am I tripping?
Travis Kelce touchdown to win the game.
Yes, okay, that's what I'm talking about. And it frustrates me. I'm like, why the fuck we got to go? Because it's like, did he have control of it when he had 2 feet in? And I'm like, bro, we got to go into detail this much? Because from the looks of it, he caught it was a touchdown.
Exactly, but then you have the situations where did Dez catch it and Megatron and Chicago catch it.
Yeah.
And so with playoffs, there was I don't know what crew it was, but I want to say it was for the Bucks. They had messed up a lot of calls. They're not in the postseason for the rest of the postseason. NFL was like, hey, y'all aren't refereeing another game. You're done. And so you don't want this to end on a play where, was it a touchdown? We don't know type of situation. So you want, and also too, what's it going to hurt to just spend the extra time to get it right? Y'all can get mad at me all day long because I'm spending 8-9 minutes to get this shit right.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that was he in, was he not? And also too, with certain conditions, it's hard. And so if you catch it and then you have to catch it twice, like Odell had one where he had to catch it twice on the way down, and he caught it really at 150 degrees, where he caught it in bounds. His feet were both there. His feet were still in bounds as he's falling, but he actually had possession as he goes to the ground.
Right.
Yeah, but that's just like, I'm like, how technical we gonna fucking get about it?
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
I think there was a maybe interception where the ball scraped the ground. I don't know what game that was, but he had the ball
yeah.
and it scraped the
It might have
ground.
been
That was
okay.
There was one against that. It was. Yep.
It was real close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to score on that one. I was like,
hoping.
damn it, come on, DJ.
That
I want
shit
DJ to win.
I'll be like,
Yes.
bro, how technical we gonna get? But yeah, that's not the game I was talking about, the field goal. But with that, yeah, Travis Kelce, when he caught that, I was like, it's a hell of a catch. But then they were talking about it because I seen like after the refs and the coach was sitting there talking whatever, and I'm like, bro, we really gotta do this right now. But yeah,
Yeah.
If he fall to the ground and the ground, I think the ground can't whatever.
yeah,
Yeah, like,
Okay.
yeah.
Like,
ground
you have to
can't-
have possession as you go to the ground, and if you hit the ground, it breaks it up. Then it's incomplete, and then they still got to try again. You know, and obviously you're going to your conference championship if you win, and then in hopes of going to a Super Bowl. So yeah, they usually
And especially in that situation, it's so much more of a big deal because, like you said, it's you're playing for a chance to get to that conference championship to get to the Super Bowl. So with the overtime rules that just changed, that we'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. shit
With
too, yeah.
it changed. I want to say I don't remember what it was, like 5, maybe 10 years ago. Where before it, the first person to score wins.
It was done.
That was it.
Yeah.
Now it's
goal
if
or
you kick a
anything.
field goal, the other team gets a chance and they get a chance to score. So that's another situation to where if we still have the old school, or if we're on these rules right now, and that's ruled incomplete because he didn't have possession, and they try to run another play and it's incomplete. Now they're kicking a field goal.
Right.
Now we may be talking about a different story here on Monday where Josh Allen drove down the field, Gabriel Davis goes down for 5 touchdowns.
Right.
You know what I'm
That's what
saying?
you're saying,
So
yeah.
you want to make sure you get it right because that truly could be the game.
It's like that Kevin Durant 3, whenever his foot was on the line, and
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
like, he was this far away from sending the
Yeah.
Bucks ass home.
Exactly.
It's that.
I just, I guess it's technology thing. But y'all know back in the
It's
day,
yeah.
motherfucker caught it, they caught it.
Oh, yeah.
Motherfucker
Right.
made it, he made it. So
Yeah.
I'll just be like, damn, bro, technical and get. But the overtime situation, these rules is new, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was confused as fuck. Because I'm thinking they finna score and the other team get a chance or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they changed it and how it was now.
Walk
I
off
can't-
touchdown.
Yeah,
That shit was crazy to me. I was like, whoa, I don't. So do y'all agree with that? Because it's basically off a coin toss. What it comes down to,
Yeah,
right?
pretty
Yeah.
much.
I can't remember when, because I feel like they just were changed, and I say
Yeah.
that, and you look back, you're like, oh, that was 9 years ago, but
I feel like it was like last year.
9 years.
When was it? Because obviously, like you said, it was the first person to score. If they scored, it's
Field
over.
goal or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Now a field goal, if they go down and score a field goal, and you now get a possession,
gives the other
I
team
don't know when that was changed.
I think it was.
But I feel like it was fairly recent.
like a year or two.
Yeah, a year or two.
Okay, I was like,
Maybe
I
three
know I'm not-
years.
but I was like, maybe I'm so used to watching college football. That's where I was thinking maybe because I'm like, I know college football is different.
You still get a
but I was
chance.
just confused as fuck. I'm like, damn, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, that means your defense got to step up. I'm like, shit, you don't even get a chance to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And-
I mean, it's kind of it sucks for the other team, but just like you said, in a situation like that, your defense has to go to another level.
Yeah.
I mean, they know
Yeah.
everything's on your shoulders.
Yeah.
You gotta hold them to 3 points or nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
a touchdown is over. I mean, that's in your head. You know that. But I mean, that's on your defense. I mean,
Yeah.
they've got to go to another level.
And to an extent, they made
try
it
to-
kind of easier on defenses because it's not just they get in field goal range and kick a field goal.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously for the love of the game and somebody that appreciates football, you kind of want to see if Josh Allen can go back down there
Yeah.
and throw
Facts.
another
That's
touchdown.
I mean, you wanted more football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially from that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
But like I said, knowing the rules, knowing what you have to do, I mean,
And being
like
the
I
number
said,
one defense
it-
in football.
you got to go to another level. If I hold them to 3 or if I hold them to nothing, we get another chance.
Yep.
That's you got to do that, and everything you got to be trying to do is execute. It's got to be perfect. I got to make sure when I wrap them, make a tackle. I can't have no busted plays, no
Yep.
miscommunication. I mean,
Yeah.
because you know what's on the line. I mean, you know the rules.
Right.
And they obviously probably practice on scenarios and game
Oh, for
practice
sure.
and stuff
Definitely.
too. But I
Yeah,
feel like
for
that
sure.
sucks against somebody like the Chiefs, you know?
Yeah,
'Cause
'cause
I
that
feel
was-
like the offense is so good. It's like,
That's a great game, man.
What was it? 2 years ago though. The same that that the rule change went into play. What was it, last year?
What was-
or 2
which
years
one?
ago?
For the,
Chiefs lost in for the playoffs.
Yeah, for against the
same thing
Patriots,
happened
and
to them.
they tried to
Yeah.
suggest that these overtime
Nice.
rules changed, and they didn't get changed.
oh, okay. Oh, and then now they
see,
winning off
and it's
that.
the same. I thought you were going to bring
Yeah.
up the Rams
Same
and
thing.
the
That's
Saints.
same thing with
where
the
that was
Chiefs.
pass interference, but it wasn't called, and the Rams go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And then that following year, it gets changed. And see, so I think it should be changed, but not because Buffalo lost.
Right.
No, I mean,
I
just
said it whenever
make
it
fair.
was. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm sorry.
And it was right after we watched the Super Bowl at Tony's old duplex.
Yeah.
the MVP of the league and Matt Ryan didn't get to touch the ball in the Super Bowl in overtime. That to me just doesn't quite seem right. Now, of course,
it's his fault.
Yeah, if you dagger Tom Brady like that, he comes back at you. You come back 28-3. There's no reason you shouldn't win that game.
Right.
But I'm just like, that just doesn't seem quite right.
Right.
And I feel like it should change.
I mean, it would be nice. I mean, you don't have to go as many damn. Okay, the first one, bang bang, both teams score a touchdown. Then it's like, I mean, it's hard to say the next person scores.
Where's that line of demarcation?
Right, because in college it's like, okay, now you got to go for two.
You have LSU and A&M where it's 9, overtime.
Yeah, Alabama.
That's what I'm saying.
Alabama
I'm so used to watching college. Them niggas go forever. I feel like, but this situation, I'm like, damn, this is over.
One of them went to like 8 overtimes, but that shit. I mean, you also risk the chance of somebody getting hurt for the divisional championship or for the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So so there's a few things I want to touch on. Obviously, I want to start with as far back as I can remember. Tyrann Mathieu goes down. We're all thinking that's going to change the game. It's going to make a difference. Obviously, I mean, he still threw 4 touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So boom, I think it's like the last 2 minutes. They're going back. Josh Allen scores. There's probably a minute and some change left. I think the Chiefs score, or it might be vice versa. Well, all I know is, there's a minute left. Yeah, right after Josh Allen touchdown, they're up 3. What's that? With 13 seconds left?
Yep.
14 seconds left?
It was. I found it the other day.
Yes,
and it was Buffalo. Buffalo was up 29-26 with a minute 54 left.
Yes.
Kansas City goes down and scores. Now it's a minute 2 left. Buffalo's down 29-33. Buffalo then goes down and scores 36-33 with 13 seconds left, and then Kansas City goes down, ties it up 36-36, and then goes in overtime and wins it 42-36.
Yes. So
in the last 2 minutes, 25 points were scored.
Right. So then that 13 seconds, Patrick Mahomes throws it to Cheetah, I think, for like 20 yards. Boom. And then they leave.
Fast,
yes.
for real.
Yeah. That nigga's
That right there, like when plays like that, when people are close to him, and he's still out running them niggas, and he throw up that peace sign.
Out running cats, running backwards.
Yeah, he's like,
Yes, we're looking at each other for the same thing.
For starters,
Go.
do not re-kick to Tyreek Hill.
That is true.
You don't punt to him twice.
No,
Do you
not
see
at all.
this? There's a reason why Mike Gundy has another win on his notch. It's because of that right there. You don't give him another chance for that.
No.
Because guess what Oklahoma did in Norman? We punted to him. There was a penalty. Guess what? Bob Stoops decided to re-kick. Theoretically, you do it for field position. No, the hell you don't. I'm going to let Mason Rudolph beat me because I know his ass ain't going to.
Right.
Tyreek came in open field. Guess what he did? Boom, touchdown. Oklahoma loses.
hey, look, man, somebody run by you and throw a peace sign, you gotta shoot that nigga.
Yeah, and right there. That right there. First of all, that should have been called back.
Flag.
That's what I was telling DJ.
Taught it before.
I thought that's
And I was
unsportsmanlike.
like,
Exactly.
Yeah, personal foul.
I think it's because he didn't do that usual shit like
He just
when
did
wave
it too.
at him.
But still,
He
the peace sign is still.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's taunting any way you look at it.
Yes.
But usually he does that right there.
Yes.
Now, he not got called back for that. He's not had a couple penalties for
Yeah.
that. So I think he's not learning. He's like, I just deuced him up. It was like,
See, I thought it was unsportsmanlike. I thought too.
And
He's been called back for that
Yeah,
because he
he's been
did it
called.
at first when they beat the living dog shit out of Tampa.
Yep.
And then they did it again that following year. And they was like, all right, you can't do that.
Right.
Because he flipped it into the end zone. And all that.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, no, that's taunting. And then he does it yesterday. I was like, we're not consistent with this at all?
Yeah, no.
It's not taunting?
I know like what you were talking about. He does that. It does that little wave like there. You know you're not catching me. And he waves at him.
Right,
so
bye-bye.
I mean, I think he kind of like, well, I'm just gonna deuce it up as something simple.
Yep.
It ain't overboard. I'm just deucing him.
Right.
Because I thought it was gonna get called back. Too.
I did
Yeah.
too.
I was waiting on it.
Threw the peace sign.
I was waiting on it. I was like, oh,
yeah,
no, he did. Yeah.
It's
Like,
taunting.
and that's crazy because I don't even watch football like that. But when I see him do that, I was like, I'm pretty sure they really hard on taunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he about to get in trouble. But I was like, maybe since it's a big game and all that, if they'd have called that back, that'd have been a big fucking deal.
That was the only thing I can think of. I was like, well, usually I'm not seeing him wave at a few people. He's got penalized for that. I was like, oh, maybe it's because he just was like, oh, here, I'm just deucing you up.
Yeah.
They hit. So they hit Tyreek Hill on the 20-yard route, or they hit him on like what was it, a drag route, and then ran for 20 yards because obviously he's faster.
That can't happen.
Right.
I don't know how that happens.
His yak yards are crazy.
Oh, yeah, stupid.
It's
It don't make no
crazy.
sense.
Because he called it like
7,
triple,
8
like
yard.
maybe in the middle, and then he took off to the
Yes.
right. So he had a lot of space, but
There
a lot of
was
space to
no-
get tackled,
yes.
really. But he took off.
Yeah. And then you come right back, and for some reason, they line Travis Kelce up wide on the left side. And that corner decides to give him everything on the inside. Looked like there was a 10-yard gap between him and whoever else was right there. And let Travis Kelce run right up to see him, and guess what? Patrick Mahomes, boom. That's a wide open ass Travis Kelce
Is this
15 yards down the field.
Is this to win it or this?
No, this is they set up the field goal.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this right here, that made no sense to me.
Go ahead.
Because everybody's out here upset. Why you didn't squib it? Again, all they need is 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is their kicker just like Justin Tucker? No. But they have 2 timeouts. Sorry, I didn't mean to spell it.
No, go.
You got 2 timeouts, something that Dallas didn't have.
Right.
Okay, so they got 13 seconds to go 75 yards. I will roll the dice with that right there. And the exact same thing that we just talked about Tampa Bay. You cannot let them get past you. Also, Tyreek is a dude. You got to keep him in front of you because if you don't, that's it. Because if he gets by you, you just sit down. Just walk to the sideline. Special teams, y'all got to go get the PAT. Because if he gets by you, that's it. So what you can't have happen is let's squib it, and then what happens if they get it at your 45-yard line or their own 45-yard line? Now all they got to go is what? Maybe 20 yards with 2 timeouts?
Yeah.
Like, and it doesn't matter who you're playing. What scenario would I rather do? I'd rather put Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. I'd rather put you at your own 1-yard line and force you to go 99 yards versus I'm going to squib it just so they can take time off the clock. Right. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. Now, if you try to keep it inbounds, like I'm going to just kick it and he catches it at the 10, sure, take 2 seconds off. But I didn't think anything was wrong with that kick.
Right.
It's 13. First of all, it's 13 seconds left. DJ has said it for the last 30 minutes. Buffalo had the number 1 defense against the pass, the rush, and on 3rd down.
Right.
That's it. Exactly what he just said. I trust my defense to either get a stop or worst case scenario, they get a little bit further and now it's a 55, 50, 60-yarder field goal.
Right.
By no means did I expect them to just go down and march down the field and get to they got to the Buffalo 30?
30.
What?
From their own 25.
30.
And first of all, I don't appreciate anybody doing Dallas like that. Kansas City had 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
That's rude. Yeah. Get off of Dallas. Yeah. That was outrageous. Leave Dallas alone. It's a long time ago.
Man.
It didn't make no sense.
But so, yeah. Go ahead. You guys.
Mahomes had 447 yards on the number 1 defense. Total yards on the number 1 defense.
Yeah.
What I thought was great was him and Josh Allen were both the leading rushers on their team.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
They were going like head.
That whole first possession, Patrick Mahomes, whenever they.
And it wasn't just that's some Kyler Murray type of. That's what it looked like against OSU and I keep bringing back. I'm sorry. We suck. I'm sorry. I'm trying to bring up the glory days.
Go ahead.
When you saw Caleb Williams dart down the field, I'm just like, this 10-yard. That's a 45-yard gain. There was nobody in a white jersey near Mahomes at all. And I'm just like, what is it? Marcus Spears on ESPN NFL Rewind.
Yep.
At the very last week on Thursday, he was like, "Listen, I think it's gonna be a good game. I'm picking the Chiefs, but Buffalo, you are killing yourself if you don't think that number 15 in that red jersey is gonna be able to run on you. He will try to run. Don't allow him to do so." And when he got out the pocket, I don't know why nobody knows how to keep contained anymore at all. Not even a little bit.
Fundamental.
And that was it.
On that.
Go ahead.
It's not about them keeping contained. With him being such a great passer, him having all these weapons,
that's
everybody was concerned about covering their man.
got double everybody.
So everybody's backs to the quarterback.
Yep.
Mahomes being so smart. Oh, back. Oh, nobody's looking at me. I'm going to step up in the pocket. I'm going to take 25.
And those linebackers
and he
can't
did
keep up
that
with them
2-3 times. Everybody's
he had like
covering
30, 40
though.
yards.
Because everybody's back towards him. I mean, if you see the numbers on their back, quarterback, I mean, that's what they take. Take that.
That's what makes Kyler and Lamar so deadly.
Yeah, I mean, they're not looking at you, so by the time they turn around, because the receiver's trying to block now.
Yep.
So they're going to turn around. You got 15, 20 yards.
Yes.
Now you got a blocking receiver.
And I thought like on the first, I can't remember like in what point in time like this has happened, but when he took off that first time, he runs around like the line of scrimmage, and I'm talking about all of Arrowhead Stadium. I was like, he's about to just run this into the end zone.
Because he turned it on. He was like, I see it.
I'm just like, oh dear God. And he gets to the 20 and the 30. I was like, okay, they're about to tie this thing up, and that's going to be it. And I don't know. I'm not really sure what to do myself.
All right.
And of course, and like you said, Tyrann Mathieu goes down, and I was like, that's going to hurt.
Definitely.
Because dudes like Stephon Diggs is going to be wide open.
Yeah.
Now you have a guy like Emmanuel Sanders, and nobody knew who Gabriel Davis was.
No.
Nobody.
And
besides me,
first of all,
you picked.
I'm not sure.
Nice too.
Kansas City had the 25th defense against. I wouldn't say it was the pass or like just total defense. They were bad.
Bad.
It was 3rd and 7. And now all of a sudden, Josh Allen's running around, and then you check it. I'm going to throw it at Singletary's feet. Don't have him catch that because he caught it, and it was a loss. Now it's a 7-yard loss. Now it's 4th and 17. In what world is there? Gabriel Davis has torched you all game.
I know where you're going with this.
And he is wide open in the end zone. And I'm just like, did they just really take the lead off of that?
Yep.
I said, I don't know a whole lot about defenses. I'm not going to say that they should have ran this or done that, but it looked like, first of all, Gabriel Davis needs to apologize to that defender.
Oh, the one you hit him with that
man,
cut?
he probably got children. He's probably a husband and a father. And it's cold in Kansas City, and you left him sit. He was sitting. There's, you get sometimes you trip on your own feet. That man got put on his ass, and he watched the entire play from his rear end.
Man.
Yeah, it was bad.
He put him on mixtapes. Did you see that?
No, I know what you're talking about.
Bro, I'm gonna find that stat. Holy cow!
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
Bro, it was.
Oh my God!
Yes,
Yeah, that's bad. That is
yes,
bad.
it was.
Hey, again, look, I'm shoot that nigga. That's something you just gotta shoot that nigga.
Nobody.
Yeah, ain't no fighting, ain't nothing else. You just gotta shoot that.
And
nigga
that
at
was for touchdown
point.
number 4, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I get up doing the Justin Jefferson thing because I still got PTSD from LSU. So he told. I said, that don't make no sense.
Man,
And my wife, who don't know about football, she said, this is the same dude. The same person.
Right.
That's the same dude.
same guy.
First of all, what a weekend
Oh,
for
man.
starters.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. Even if you have a team that lost, like if I was a Bucs fan or if I was a big, Green Bay fan, if I was a Green Bay fan, I'd be pissed off. But anybody else, you couldn't have asked for more than that.
No, you got to. That was just a solid weekend.
Yes.
If you appreciate football, you had to love this weekend.
Not like the college football playoffs, the first round.
We ain't gonna keep talking about it.
No, this is the first round.
All right.
Yeah, when we blew out Cincinnati and Georgia beat the shit out of Michigan.
Still sensitive.
Devin Ritter played much better than I thought he was going to against y'all. He played a lot better than I thought he was going to.
Our defenses are down here. But, yeah, man, great weekend of football. Obviously, we have the conference championships coming up, so we'll go ahead and get our predictions out the way, and then we'll let y'all go. So, I got the Bucs beating San Francisco. Sorry, Dad. And then I got, I don't know. I'm really torn because I think Patrick Mahomes and them boys can get there, but I'm not counting out Joe Burrow. So I'm going to take the Bengals, man. I'm taking Bengals, Jamar Chase, and Joe Mixon and that's Super Bowl. Bengals and the Rams.
They'll definitely get there with as bad as and now the status is, and of course Adam Schefter tweets about your boy Debo just now. Said that he's expected.
I often say he hurt.
Yeah,
he hurt himself.
It said, he took a helmet to his knee/leg on the last play, so he's sore today, but he's expected to be at practice for the rest of this week.
Okay.
The question is, what's going on with Tyrone? Mm-hmm. Because if you don't have number 32 back there, if he's not able to go,
Well, I think
Jamar Chase may have an all-time game this game.
Yeah, good call.
If you don't have anything, because just like Kansas City does, Cincinnati has guys that will torch you.
Yeah.
And I think T. Higgins is a really, really solid receiver. I like Tyler Boyd a lot, but Jamar Chase is just a whole different animal.
And you got Uzama
as a
fourth
rookie.
option.
Exactly.
And he's coming in. He's
Uzama
coming in his
nice.
own.
Yeah.
He's
Uzama
a
nice.
big target. I mean, his hands. He's shown that he's got sure hands.
Right.
I mean, to make big plays, he's coming into his own too.
In that Kansas City D line, I expected more from out of Chris Jones and the rest of those guys. But listen, it's cold in Kansas City, and Cincinnati's coming with two-headed monster in that backfield.
Right.
So they'll dump it off to screen Joe Mixon. They'll run up the middle. So I'm picking Kansas City, but I'm telling you right now, if they look like they're half asleep, Cincinnati, you'll look up and they'll be like, it's 10-0, it's 14-0. Hold on, time out.
Because Cincinnati ain't played at home all playoffs.
No, yeah,
They've been on the road this whole time.
Yeah,
so
Vegas, Tennessee, now Kansas City.
yeah. So Billy Earl, who you got? Who's your winners?
Who is it? The 49ers that
49ers
are
and
6
the
and 0?
Rams?
The last 6 times they played the Rams?
Yeah, I think
Are they
so.
6 and 0? That's unbelievable. Holy cow.
But go on ahead, be realistic. We got to keep it 100. Now.
It's exactly what you said earlier.
I mean, because you can't just go off of stats right now. You got to go off of what.
Yeah,
what
especially
real,
in this day.
You got to go off real. You got to just go off the real. What you see.
If they need to figure out something to do with that D line of the Rams.
Yeah,
because number 19 is now that he's hurt and not even coming into regardless of how he feels this week, how he looks this week, he is coming in hurt
off of an injury. Yeah,
so he's not going to be 100%. So now you either have to give the ball to Elijah Mitchell and hope to God that he can do something with that D line,
or George Kittle,
or now you got to put the ball in Jimmy G's hands.
And that's why I say be realistic.
You see what I'm saying? And so and I'm not anti-49ers,
right?
But that from what I've seen and from what I'm reading about, like it does suck to see that you have to then rely on a dude like that. Now he's done it, but it just seems that he hasn't done it more so than he actually has.
Right.
So, it's one of those things that kind of the exact same thing that I had about with Bama Cincinnati or Bama Ohio State.
So take this into account before you go. How many times did y'all play the Rams in the regular season?
Twice. Yeah.
Twice. Okay. So Matthew Stafford's 0-2 against him, against the 49ers with the Rams.
Right.
So it's not we ain't gonna add Jared
And
Goff.
playoff experience, like Jimmy G's been there.
He has.
You know, so that's gonna be huge.
Yeah, but-
And I like Kyle Shanahan a lot.
And it's some warm weather.
And it's gonna feel a lot better than Green Bay.
Right.
Man, it's a coin flip there.
Okay.
I don't know.
Man, nigga, answer the question, nigga.
I guess I'll take the Rams.
Okay. By how much? You ain't got to say a score because there ain't no telling how it'll go.
Yeah,
Matthew Stafford can play shitty, or he can have.
He can have a game like he had a Sunday, and just because he straight up, he was unbelievable. He was making, dime throws.
That's exactly.
Everything that he threw that he completed was like perfect.
Yeah. If you have to go up against Brady, your quarterback almost every time has to outplay Brady. Right. Otherwise, it's 28-3, and you're sitting there looking stupid.
So you got the Rams, and then Bengals, Chiefs. Who you got?
Yeah, I take the Chiefs. I'll take both home teams.
Okay, bet. Pops.
I'm gonna go
49ers.
I'm going 49ers.
Yeah.
Like I said, just because I'm diehard and
Right.
looking at statistics, we not beat up on them early in the season, and just because Patrick Mahomes has been in this situation and we're this deep in the playoffs, and he knows that one more game and I'm going Super Bowl. He's got the experience. He's got the weapons. I'm gonna go with Patrick. I like Joe Burrows. I like what he's done this year, but I think they just don't have all the components right now.
I think that's gonna be a real close game.
I think so too.
Close game. Alex, what you think?
Shit. From what I've seen, I feel like low key the Bengals. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah,
But that's only
fair.
because I feel like they're like a hot streak. I feel like there's some young niggas and they hungry.
And they don't have any. And they don't have anything to lose. All of the pressure's on
Yeah.
Kansas City.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like they kind of gritty and grimy, and I feel like they'll get there. So I
They
feel like
won the last time they played them.
Okay, but
Yeah, they
bad.
went week 15, 16.
Just off every time I watch the Bengals, I'm like, I feel like they got enough together where they're not like a super inexperienced team, but like you said, they're deep in the playoffs too, so they can play. In fact, but like you said, it can go either way. So I think Bengals, and I'll look. You think the Rams too?
Okay.
I think the Rams.
All right.
But I feel like that depends, obviously, like on Odell and other things as well. But I don't know quarterbacks who Matthew Stafford.
Stafford.
I don't hear a lot of good things about that nigga. I don't know football, but I hear a lot of good things.
It's gonna come down to how well the defensive line performs.
Yep.
Because the secondary. The secondary is solid. The secondary. It's gonna come on how well the defensive line performs.
And Jimmy G not fucking up.
And Jimmy G doesn't get shook up. If they get him shook, all they gotta do is sack him one time. He got PTSD. He in shock. He in shock for the rest of the game, and it's a done deal.
Is this the closest Odell's gotten?
Yeah.
This is the furthest he's ever
The
gotten.
first has been?
Yeah,
Right?
he
I'm
had
thinking
with
too.
the
I'm like, the nigga ain't been close, right?
When they won their his first playoff game with the Rams in the wild card, that was his first playoff game ever.
And he got Cooper
this-
Cup and stuff. So I'm like, they have pieces and I feel like a lot of weapons. So.
Him and Matthew Stafford, this is their first time ever doing any of this.
Right.
Bill.
I know that part, but yeah, for sure.
Did you guys see this? Real quick, on November 12th, Odell Beckham Jr. signed a deal with the Rams worth $750,000. He announced he would take that in Bitcoin.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Bitcoin's
At the time,
fucked right now.
Bitcoin was worth $64,000. Today, it's worth $34,000. Today, that $750,000 deal is worth $412,000. Odell is going to be taxed on $750,000. Federal and California state tax is 53%.
Damn.
I'll be honest with you.
That
though.
means Odell Beckham, as of right now, has netted before obviously Sunday.
Right.
Right now, has netted $35,000 from the Rams just this year.
But do y'all think he really cares though?
No, because he wanted to go to a team. When he was going to get it traded, he said, "I want to go to the team that's gonna get to the playoffs. I want to go to a team that's gonna throw me the ball."
Yeah.
That was the only thing he was concerned about.
Yeah.
Is this team can they make it playoffs? And will somebody throw me the ball?
Facts.
That's the only thing.
And that's
he was
what's
worried
happening
about.
right now.
He just
Yeah.
I want to say he just cashed out at either 1.5 or 750 just over on incentives just for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, word?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, he probably cared, but but I ain't gonna lie, that's just Bitcoin shit. Like, I don't understand all the way.
I don't
That shit's some
understand
kind of
it
silly. Like Ezekiel Elliott said, he gave Pollard like some Bitcoin for Christmas and shit. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
He need to
is-
give Paula that starting job.
That's hey, but you know what I'm
That's what
saying?
I
I'm
said.
like, this Odell shit. I'm like, he probably don't care, but it's an interesting thing because like we're moving in times where shit like that's
Yeah.
going on. He's taking in
No.
weird money. I don't even know what you want to call it.
Yeah.
Well, because I was talking to a guy today at work and he was talking about Bitcoin. And I was like, man, what is the deal about Bitcoin? He was talking about mining Bitcoin. And he was like, dude, you want me to tell you about it? And he gave me a quick little insight. He said, one share of Bitcoin is worth $35,000.
Yeah.
I was like, how much do you have to pay to his like?
Yeah.
If you mining it, he was trying to explain it to me, but just the thought of that because you said he bought it, he wanted his deal in Bitcoin.
Yep.
One Bitcoin, $34,000.
Right.
I was like, God dang. I was like, but you know what I'm
Make
saying?
you start thinking,
I mean, I was
Yeah.
like, man, maybe I need to start getting me a computer to mine some Bitcoin. I was
But see, I
like,
wonder if that, and it was, we can wrap it up, but I wonder too if how that works is like when it goes back up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when Bitcoin goes back up, what's that going to happen with his contract then? Like, does it have to stay at a. You know what I mean?
I think his Bitcoin is going to be the same.
It's- the Bitcoin
what
will
he
be the
has-
same, yeah.
But I
He
thought
can
it depends
cash
off the
that out.
market and stuff too.
I mean,
Like, if
he
it goes
can
up and
cash in
down.
or sell it just like
Yeah.
they like
it's
stock.
just like a-
like
I see what you're
stock.
saying.
Yeah.
Okay, my fault. I see what you're
So when
saying.
it goes up, he'll get like all that money back if it goes back to what it was.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But right now, but that's what I'm saying. I'm confused about. It's like if it's down right now, then
It's
they're
kinda-
paying
So,
him.
so if he was to
It's a
cash out
future
today,
investment.
basically, so
Yeah.
with how it was, so it started at, what did I say, it's like 65, 75?
Yeah.
So if he cashes out that day where it is that high, then he'll bring that
He gonna
home.
bring that money.
but right now,
as of today, which I want to say as of today was probably like a week or two ago. So as of then, it was only worth 35,000.
But if
So
it
it's
goes
just like a
back-
stock.
Yeah, but if it
Yeah.
goes back up into like where it was when he originally got
Yeah.
it, and then he cashes out, he gets that money that
Yeah.
he was supposed to get.
that shit too goofy.
I mean, it's
Right, right.
I understand
All
it.
he did
It's
was
smart.
buy a share, buying
Buying
the stock.
to- yeah,
That's all he
yeah,
did was buying the
yeah.
stock.
Yep.
So I mean, it was smart. It's smart. I mean, because he got money to hold
Already,
him over.
right.
That's
So
true.
He's got
That's
this lump
true.
sum of money
That's true.
into this stock, and now he's just like, oh, if it rises, then I'm gonna cash out. Get paid.
Yeah.
I guess you look at it. He obviously got money. If he ain't,
Yeah.
if he like, just go ahead and do that.
And,
Yeah.
and he got playoff incentives too.
Right, so
Yeah.
he'll be all right, man.
Yeah.
Man, great weekend of football again. We'll be looking forward to. Is it next weekend?
Yep.
Yep.
And then-
Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday.
Yeah.
That will be the conference championships again, man. I appreciate everybody for being here. Billy Earl, my boy Alex, and my pops
of
coming
course.
through, kicking it with us. Finally.
Yeah, always
Pretty
fun.
good to be here.
Always
Good to
fun.
be here.
Yeah, I had a
Glad to have
blast.
y'all, man. This is episode 36 of the From the Jump podcast, and we out.